15th spot on the competition ladder. It's been a tough season for the Parramatta Eels. Their last 4 games have lost, win, but the 2 losses have been by 4 and 6 points. So they've been in the contest. The Roosters, on the other hand, 3 straight victories. They're looking to make it 4, and the Parramatta Eels will be looking for a big game for their lock forward, Dylan Walker, game number 250 in the NRL tonight. Kiana Takarangi will be on the touchline for us this evening, but Dean Hallertau is alongside me, as he often is. Haller, a great light show here before the game. Hopefully the excitement that's building will continue onto the field for the 80 minutes. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening again, Glenn, and I agree. Hopefully the intensity and the atmosphere rises as the game kicks off. Both teams have played some really good football this year. I know the Eels aren't where they want to be in terms of their results and standing on the ladder, but they are progressing, and you can see a lot of upside in what they're delivering, and the Roosters are proving to be a bit of a headache for a number of teams of late, and they are a team that's going to cause some more headaches as the finals approach and into September.
Just before we get down to Kiana, we are playing for the Jack Gibson Cup. Of course, 123 games as a Rooster. Then he coached the club on 119 occasions and Parramatta on 84 occasions. Of course, leading them to the 1981, 82 and 83 premierships. And also the player of the match tonight will receive the Chad Robinson medal, named after Chad Robinson, who played 89 games for Parramatta and 70 for the Roosters before sadly passing away in 2016. So a really special occasion for the Roosters and the Parramatta Eels, and it is a really good atmosphere down at ground level. Of course, we've seen the NRLW this afternoon, which ended up with a big win for the Roosters, 56 points to 12. Parramatta looked really good for large parts of that game, but unfortunately couldn't get the job done against a Roosters side that is absolutely flying at the moment. What has the next 80 minutes got in store? Let's get down to the touchline, Kiana Takarangi. It looks like the fans are really building for this one, and they're putting on a bit of a show before the game. Good evening, Kiana.
Good evening, boys. Yeah, the Parramatta fans are starting to roll in. The light show has been really good to watch as well. But the conditions are looking pretty good here, boys. It's 15 degrees. The field's still a little bit damp, though, from all the rain that we've had this week, but much better conditions than what we've seen over the last few weeks. So looking forward to a good game of footy.
Is it too slippery underfoot, Kiana? I know you warmed up, didn't you, with the NRLW squad?
Yeah, I did. No, it's not too bad. There's not any puddles or anything, but definitely a bit of, it's definitely still a little bit damp from the previous rain.
Yeah, so much rain. Dino, how do you see this one going this evening? Obviously, the Roosters have been pretty settled throughout this season, and over the last few weeks, we've seen Hugo Savala come in and do a great job alongside Sam Walker. And then when you look at Parramatta, not too dissimilar with, obviously, Joash Papali's still pretty early in his career.
Yeah, look, the things you mentioned about the Roosters, Hugo Savala's doing a great job. Sam Walker being back on the field is awesome. It helps generate a lot of positive play with their shifts, and the man at the back, James Tedesco, just as threatening as ever.
So the Roosters are out on the field in their alternate jerseys, predominantly white with the red and blue V's, the blue shorts and the white socks. Their fullback, James Tedesco. Their wingers, Junior Tupou on club debut. Billy Smith and Robert Toya are the centres. Mark Nwonga Nitawazi is the other winger. Hugo Savala and Sam Walker in the halves. There's a bit of a shuffle in the forward pack. Lindsay Collins in 10 and Spencer Leniu in 17 of the front rowers. The hooker is Benai Yawello in 14. The second rowers, Angus Crichton in 11 and Victor Radley in 13. Nafahu White is the lock forward in jumper number 8. It gives us a bench made up of number 9, Connor Watson, number 12, Siwa Wong, number 15, Celeste Piketty, and number 16, Eden Butcher. Ethan King is their 18th man. Mitchell Moses will begin slowly leading the Parramatta Eels out as Dylan Walker is there with his family and very slowly being congratulated by his family as he walks through that guard of honour for game number 250 in the National Rugby League. Their fullback is Isaiah Iongi, Zach Lomax and Josh Adokar are the wingers. The centres, Will Bentony and Dylan Brown. The halves, Joash Papali and Mitch Moses. Jermaine Hopgood and Junior Parlour are the front rowers. Riley Smith is the hooker. Kelma Tuolangi and Jack Williams are in the second row. And the milestone man in game 250, Dylan Walker, returns to the starting lineup this evening at lock forward. Talon De Silva, Charlie Geimer, Matt Dory and Jordan Samrani on the bench. Their 18th man in jumper number 21 is Tony Mataele. The referee in orange tonight is Wyatt Raymond. Daniel Luttringer and Chris Sutton are his touch judges. Adam G is in the bunker. Parramatta will be kicking off from the northern towards the southern end of Western Sydney Stadium, meaning the Roosters will have first use of the football. The Roosters will be running from right to left as you look at your radio dial. And Zach Lomax gets us underway, kicking down towards the southeastern corner. And it will be the Roosters with the first hit up of the evening. Spencer Leniu with a strong run towards the 20-metre line. Don't forget, you can get in touch as well. 0467 920 222. Mark Nwanganitawazi plays the ball 20 out away from his own goal line as the Roosters make it away from their own end through Nafahu. White gets up and plays the ball about 27 away. Uelu is at dummy half. He goes open, so short side right one off the ruck. And the Roosters through Radley will play the ball 12 short of halfway. They come open side left now. Lindsay Collins is 8 short of halfway centre field. First set of the game. Parramatta and the Roosters at Western Sydney Stadium with Kiana Takarangi, Dean Halatau, I'm Glenn Lauder. The kick goes downfield. It's taken by Josh Adokar. He returns it up towards the 20-metre line, and it's a strong tackle. Good kick chase there by the Roosters. Nafahu White and Spencer Leniu leading the charge. Here's Zach Lomax for Parramatta now. 3 Roosters players bring him down 23 metres away from the northern goal line as they come short to the right-hand side. Offload from Bensity. They keep it alive. Back into the middle goes Zach Lomax. He finds himself in centre field, 10 away from the halfway line. Scooting out of dummy half is Smith. He goes to Walker. Out the back for Papali. Now here's Iongi trying to find a way through. As Iongi brought to ground 8 metres inside Roosters territory. They come back to the open side. Junior Barlaw with a strong run through the middle of the park, and he'll be put to ground on the final play, 31 metres away from the Roosters line. Parramatta with the early field position. Mitchell Moses goes high towards the southwestern corner. Waiting for it is Tupou, taking it comfortably. Junior Tupou, of course, given that Daniel is out with HIA protocols, and the Roosters, Dean Halatau will start this set 4 away from their own line.
Yeah, really good set from the Eels. First time with the ball in hand. They managed to march upfield and signal a bit of their intentions. They shift to their left and make soft yards, so it puts them in a really good position for their kick on last play. And even though the Roosters have started with good intensity, they're now working hard out of their own end.
No score, Parramatta and the Roosters. ABC Sport, we've had 3 minutes of play at Western Sydney Stadium. Play 3 for the Roosters. They find themselves in centre field, 30 away from their own line. Getting up and playing it is Crichton. And then from the subsequent play, Lindsay Collins is 15 short of halfway. Uelu from dummy half goes short right. Kicking downfield is Savala. It's a deep kick as well, but Iongi can take it 10 away from his own goal line, and it's a good return as well. So Parramatta will have another set in reasonable field position as Iongi plays it on 1, 30 away from his line. Josh Adokar is 14 short of halfway, 13 in from the eastern touchline. So they come back open side right, and Dylan Brown has the ball 3 away from the halfway line, 23 in from the eastern touchline. They go up towards halfway now as they spin it to the right-hand side. Tuolangi gets an offload away to Moses, keeps it alive for Bensity, tries to get away from Walker, but he hangs on and gets a quick play the ball as well. 15 metres inside Roosters territory. They're throwing it around here, Parramatta. They head it to the western touchline. Now they go back open side left. Papali's through a gap, but his ankle tapped and goes to ground, and then Collins comes over the top. Final play for Parramatta. They're 15 away from the line. Dummying Walker goes to the line. Dylan Brown picks it up. They wanted 6 again. The referee says still it's the last. Chasing through was Hopgood. Was he taken out of play? It's gone into the in-goal. The grab kick picked up by Sam Walker. He comes back out into the field of play, and the referee, Wyatt Raymond, is going to have a look at this. He'll go to the bunker.
Video review.
A couple of Parramatta players
Adam,
could have been taken out.
No try. I have this just as a collision, but just confirm there's no tackle off the ball.
Yeah, there were 2 that I think Adam G might look at here, Dino.
Yeah, you're spot on, Stay. There was an initial one from the kick, which I think may have been Angus Crichton. I'm not sure. There was someone who turns to attempt to chase.
Coming into one.
And then another one in the in-goal. Billy Smith is a bit of a shepherd for Sam Walker.
Yeah, it is Crichton who goes towards Jermaine Hopgood.
Well, there's a touch there from
The ball is
Savala.
touched by Hugo here. Just getting perspective. The tackle count will restart.
But if they continue and decide to kick,
Yeah, there's... You would think advantage taken.
yeah,
It's only 5
Coming
minutes.
into 0 tackle now.
because they're not actually challenging.
They weren't told.
It's a clean pick up. We're playing on. Yep.
Or maybe mutual infringement. I don't know.
Comes back for a play the ball,
Yeah.
potentially. Yeah,
He hasn't...
they wouldn't have kicked if they knew it was 6 again.
Yeah.
So
Jermaine
Jermaine
Hopgood is now onside from the second kick chase. Play through.
This could be a little Harry Grant moment. Does he actually play for it? There's Angus Crichton stops in front of him there.
Angus Crichton's doing his best to look at the ball and pretend he's been taken out.
Kiana Takarangi is on the sideline for us. Kiana, we haven't got down to you yet this evening. It's all happening. We'll just wait and see what
towards the ball, and then he stops. We're playing on at this point.
You see what Adam G says.
I've got no advantage, mate.
Kiana, it's all happening.
Sorry, boys, it is all happening. The fans absolutely blowing up. They're thinking penalty try, but I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Just a collision in goal. The on-field ruling is no advantage. We're going back for the no advantage from the knock-on.
So with the original one, right, they picked up a knock-on by your blokes. Because these blokes didn't know it was zero tackle, I'm deeming it no advantage, so it'll be a scrum to Para.
Okay, so they'll play. That's a pretty fair result, I would suggest, Dino.
Yeah, I mean, he missed the call for a 6 again on field, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like...
They might have kicked it anyway if you wave 6 again if there's opportunity.
On 0.
You never know. But anyway, they're going back and it's going to be a parable.
It's essentially a mutual infringement.
Yeah,
the referee says they didn't know it was 0 tackle, so I'm going back for a Parramatta scrum. Parramatta have the ball 10 metres away from the Roosters goal line at the southern end. They win the scrum, they go left. Dylan Brown's waiting for it. He comes back on the inside, tries to get underneath Lindsay Collins, and then 2 Roosters players, including White, come over the top. 12 away, no score between Parramatta and the Roosters after 4. The Eels only 6 metres away from the Roosters line at the southern end of the ground. Hopgood gets up and plays it for Smith out of dummy half. Right, and Papali dummies and then takes the tackle 8 away of Spencer Leniu over the top. Smith comes short right-hand side for Moses, gets it out the back for Iongi. Iongi keeps it alive. Barlow wasn't really expecting it. He takes the ball and then takes the tackle, loses some ground, and Paolo's 25 metres away from the Roosters line. He plays the ball, make it 15 away. They go left. Moses gets it away to Papali, then Brown. He had O'Carr and he's outside, doesn't use him, and I don't think he needed to. Dylan Brown gets the ball down. The referee goes upstairs. What say Adam G?
Coming into tackle 5. Have no try, just confirm held up.
White Raymond doesn't think he got the ball down. The Parramatta fans in that southeastern corner were confident, Dino.
Yeah, they were, and I thought that the Eels players themselves were quite confident, but then late I seen the Roosters players come over and pat Robert Toyer on the back as well as Mark Nawonga Nitawase for the effort, and just watching the end-on view.
Yeah, it's Nawonga Nitawase's arm.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to see.
Available angles to see if the ball gets to ground.
I think on the angle from the in goal, it looks as though that Mark Nawonga Nitawase's arm is underneath that ball.
I think the reverse angle sort of confirms that as well.
There's no grounding there.
Based on all these angles, Mark's arm is under the ball. He is then rolled up. The ball always remains up. We're supporting the on-field decision of held up.
Wait.
This will be a Parramatta play the ball, 10 away from the line. We will get down to Kiana properly as soon as we can, but it's just all happened at this southern end. It's the final play. Parramatta are 10 metres away from the Roosters line. Dylan Brown just waiting to play it. About 3 metres in from the eastern touchline. They come right, first receiver Moses kicks across field towards the post. Tuolangi went flying high, went without the ball. It's taken in the in goal by Lindsay Collins. It's a knock on by Parramatta and Tuolangi, and it'll be a change over to the Roosters. So he's saying the knock on was in the field of play, and James Tedesco will be able to play the ball for the Roosters 10 away from their own goal line as they come away from their own end. No score after 5. Let's get down to the touchline. Kiana Takarangi.
Yeah, it's all happening, boys. I saw Zach Lomax here on the right wing putting his hand up, wanting the ball coming his way, but the Roosters did well to hold them out there.
The Roosters have the ball 29 metres away from their own line. Finally, some possession for the Sydney Roosters. They have it through Nafahu White, 12 short of the halfway line on play 4. Centre field, they come to the left. Lenyu's one off the ruck. He runs into Mitchell Moses, and then Smith comes over the top to help out. Leniu takes the tackle 4 short of halfway. Uelu, a dummy half, goes right first receiver for Hugo Savala to kick and change direction back to the left. And then Iongi can return it about 27 away from his own goal line and 20 in from the western touchline. And Isaiah Iongi is injured here, and he gets a penalty for his troubles as well. It's a crusher. He stayed down, and I tell you what, the Roosters weren't happy with that. Benai Uelu has given him a spray after the penalty, but he's still down here, Iongi.
I think Uelu, after he comes across and checks on him eventually, And you're right, he is still down, so that one went on report by the looks of it.
Apologies to Uelu if I've accused him of a spray. I just saw him go over to him. I thought he might have given him what for staying down, but it is a penalty to Parramatta, and Mitchell Moses will kick for touch 30 metres away from his own goal line. And once again, the Roosters slowly getting themselves in the field position. They give the penalty away, and Parramatta will be able to start this set on the halfway line. So they take the tap and they go to the left. Junior Barlaw has the ball about 4 metres inside Parramatta territory, inside the Roosters territory, I beg your pardon. They go to the left and then change direction, and Jack Williams will be taken in the tackle 5 metres inside the Roosters half. Smith waits at dummy half, 23 in from the eastern touchline. They come to the open side through the hands of Hopgood and Moses. It goes behind Iongi. He does well to hold on to it, tries to split the gap, but the gap of Sam Walker and Lindsay Collins closes, and he tackled 38 metres away from the Roosters line. They go to the left-hand side. Here's Jack Williams, 6 again for Parramatta. So they've got 30 metres to go in a full set to do it. Smith, dummy half, comes right. Dylan Walker, dummies, goes himself. He's 20 metres away from the Roosters line, centre field. They come to the right. Moses has it to the line. Sends Tuolangi through the big John Olomu goose step over the top of Sam Walker, but he holds on. They get another set, though. Again, Parramatta 8 away from the line. Moses goes himself at first receiver. There's a trainer on the field now because Sam Walker is stayed down, and he might have caught one in the head there, and the referee will call timeout. Dino, no score after 7.
Yeah, well, he was holding onto the foot there, Sam Walker, as Tuolangi went through him, as you said, and then once the ball had gone, he tried to stand up and fell back to the ground. That's when the orange shirt trainer for the Roosters recognised that. We're watching a replay here, and yeah, you would think he's going to come straight from the field there, Sam Walker, and it'd be hard-pressed for him to get back on the field tonight.
Touchline, Kiana Takarangi.
Yeah, Sam Walker doesn't look too good, guys. He's coming off, and it'd be a massive loss if we don't see him back in the game tonight.
Yeah, so Connor Watson is coming on now. There's almost no chance that Sam Walker will come back. And I don't think it was... I thought maybe that he got... that Tuolangi lashed out, might have kicked him in the head, but it was the fact that Tuolangi went straight over him like a steamroller as he was running through there. And Sam Walker, a much smaller man than Kelma Tuolangi, and that will be a big blow. So Connor Watson on the field. Parramatta go to the left. They spin it. Quick hands. Iongi to Walker. And then it goes to Dylan Brown and Josh Adokar, and the Roosters scramble. Drag Adokar over the touchline. They do so after the tackle was completed. It's a second tackle motion over the touchline, and Parramatta get a penalty. There's 7.5 gone. There's no score, but the Eels continue to attack the Roosters line.
Yeah, brilliant movement to their left, the Eels, and James Tedesco does a good job to stop things, but the call from the ref was the flop pushed him over the sideline.
Never understood why they kick backwards for touch when they can take the tap anywhere they want to. As they go to the right-hand side of the field, and Jermaine Hopgood has it now, 10 away from the line, make it 9. Held up in the tackle, Nafahu, White and Collins. They come right, Smith out of dummy half for Walker, gets it away to Barlaw, and Barlaw's 3 away from the line. Adjacent to the right hand upright. Riley Smith thinks left, goes right. Tuolangi close to the line, but they do well again, the Roosters defending. Only a metre out, they're scrambling here. Parramatta come right, Moses grubbers through. It's picked up by the Roosters. Really good stuff there. They've cut it with their foot and landed on it. Beautiful stuff on this near side by the Roosters. Billy Smith it was, who trapped it with his boot and then landed on, I beg your pardon, it was Angus Crichton. Did really well there, Dino.
Yeah, it was an amazing job by Angus Crichton. Smart play, and the trap and scrap is something that a lot of teams will work on, and he's got to do well to jump on the ball on the ground in a wet night, or a damp night at least, and still come up with possession.
Strong carry by Lindsay Collins, 30 metres away from the line. Geez, they've done well to repel wave after wave of Parramatta attack. The Roosters, as they come away from their own end now, it's the final play, and they'll get up and play it through Toya, 8 short of halfway. They come left, Zavala kicking on the run. Downfield it goes. Zach Lomax takes it 15 away from his own goal line, and he returns it to be brought to ground about 25 away in centre field. Lindsay Collins doing the chase again alongside Connor Watson. Get up and play the ball and come short right-hand side. Don't have any numbers though here, Parramatta, so they'll take the tackle 35 metres away through Bensony. They get up and play it, come back open side left, and they have the ball through Iongi about 13 short of halfway centre field. Almost 10 gone. ABC Sports coverage of Parramatta and the Roosters, no score. Kiana Takarangi, Dean Halatau, I'm Glenn Lauder. Good to have your company. We get the text messages when we can, but it's been a real battle so far, and Jack Williams has it 9 inside Roosters territory. Final play for Parramatta, so they come open side right. Moses will kick down downfield. It's a high kick. Waiting for it is Tupou. Goes high. Bounces off the chest. Played up. Picked up by Tuolungi. He has Jermaine Hopgood in support. The big front rower scores his second of the season. And Parramatta are on the board. You'd have to say it's deserved. They lead 4 points to 0. 10 gone.
Yeah, well, they've looked the likeliest of both teams, haven't they? They spent a lot of time attacking the Roosters line. This time they come up with a high kick to their main target for these type of kicks, and that's Zach Lomax on the right wing. Whether or not he gets the ball in time, he's always putting pressure on the receivers. This time it's Junior Tupou. He goes up, gets a good leap, but the ball spills straight out of his hands. The chase is coming through from the Eels. Do a great job to regather. Firstly to Tuolungi. He finds support back on the inside, and Jermaine Hopgood, good job from the front rower to be there supporting.
He's had a really good season, hasn't he, Jermaine Hopgood? He had a limited pre-season, that herniated disc in his back that was really badly affecting him. Had a bit of knee surgery as well, then came back and played Game 3 of Origin, and he scored his second of the season. Touchline, Kiana.
Moses putting the debutant there under the test, and it's unfortunate to see him fail that one. The ball just bounced straight off his chest, so really good play there by the Eels.
Yeah, Junior Tupou playing his first game in Roosters colours. Hasn't played since round 2 for the Dolphins before linking up with the Roosters. Also played for the West Tigers as well, Junior Tupou. And, of course, in this Roosters side this evening, given that Daniel Tupou missed out last week because, after picking up that HIA last week, missing this evening. So Zach Lomax is about 23 in from the western touchline. The opportunity to give Parramatta the lead. 6 points to 0. Moves in and makes no mistake. Zach Lomax adds the extras. Parramatta 6, Roosters 0. 0467 920 222. Don't they kick backwards in order to take the tap further infield? Tim from Upper Caboolture. No, well, you can take the tap from anywhere behind where the referee blows the penalty.
It was pretty close
to the touch line. Yeah, so that could come in 10 metres. Okay, I take your point. Thanks, Tim. Where was the try to go to the bunker? Trish Roosters in Concord. Well, they can go to the bunker even if there's no try. The referee can go up and say there's no try. It was because that happened in the in-goal, Trish, what you were referring to there earlier. Christopher Mudgee travelling home from working at the farm, listening to the third game today. Happy to hear DCE and the Eagles get a big win. Thank you, Christopher. Greggett Ride is going for the Roosters as well. Thank you for your text message on 0467 920 222. Parramatta with the ball after points through Tuolungi. He's 8 metres away from his own goal line, and now Zach Lomax is muscled up by the Roosters. They really want to have a good defensive set after conceding the first try. Lomax plays at 9 away from his own line. Low pass out of dummy half. Really well taken in the end. Close to the ground by Dylan Walker. He had to dive there and on his bootlace. This is another poor pass from Riley Smith out of dummy half. This time they can't hold on to the ball, and the Roosters will get a scrum feed 13 away from their line. It was 2 good defensive plays by the Roosters, but Parramatta, bad passes out of dummy half on both occasions.
Yeah, and Riley Smith, one of his really big strengths is his passing game. He's got really sharp pass, gets it out in front. I think maybe there was a little bit of Papali taking his eye off the ball there and just pops out the back. But you can kind of feel when there's one bad pass in a set, it's a bit clunky. It's really hard to regather that rhythm, and we're just seeing it on 2 plays.
Yeah, the second pass wasn't as bad as the first. It was up around Papali's eyes, but lost the ball as he was looking at the defence, and the Roosters win the scrum. They have it through Crichton, and they get a penalty now because Parramatta was offside at the scrum, and the Roosters want to repack it. So they're going to repack it the same.
Someone goes to the bin. Dylan Walker.
There you go. There's the warning from Wyatt Raymond. Dylan Walker was the man who gave that one away, and if they do it again, they'll be going to the bin. So the Roosters have elected to repack the scrum 20 metres in from the eastern touchline.
Yeah, it's haven't seen this one exploited a lot, or any team sort of feel the outcome of a sin bin, but it's a good option to have.
So they win the scrum again. They go short this time. Uelu out of the base of the scrum. Goes himself. He's 7 metres away from the line and 12 in from the eastern touchline. The Wanganita-Waze is at dummy half. They come to the left. Nafahu White, 10 away from the Parramatta goal line. He goes to ground and he's on his back. Uelu's waiting at dummy half and he'll come left. Waiting for it is Savala. Out the back for Connor Watson. Gets it away to Tedesco. Back on the inside. Billy Smith falls over. And then Tuolungi flops over the top of him dangerously. So it's another penalty to the Roosters.
I get it's an accident, but he gets him high.
Yeah, there you go from Wyatt Raymond. So he was on the ground, Billy Smith. and Kelma Tuolangi flopped over the top of him across the head, and now Kelma Tuolangi goes across and makes sure that Billy Smith is okay. The Roosters with a penalty 10 metres away from the Parramatta line.
Yeah, I mean, it was accidental, you might think, but the arm hit him and he was aiming up to make a tackle. He's a falling man from the trip. He also just about hurt himself there, Tuolangi.
Uelu takes the tap, and then he sends Lindsay Collins to within 4 metres of the goal line, about 25 in from the western touchline. Uelu's waiting at dummy half to come right. I thought there might have been a block or a decoy play there, but the ball was taken by the first receiver, and they get up and play it through Lenu about a metre away from the line. They come right. Savala, Tedesco, they've got numbers. He dummies, goes himself. It's a good tackle around the bootlaces to bring Tedesco down 8 away. Scooting out of dummy half is Uelu. They get 6 again. They might not need it here. The Roosters, they won't. The Roosters on the far side.
Video review. Gee, on-field ruling. We have 6 more for Dylan Brown offside. Into held up, tackle 1.
Geez, I thought Victor Radley got the ball down there, but White Raymond says he's held up. What say you, Dean Hallertau, as we look at the replay?
Yeah, he's in a good position, White Raymond, and there was a number of Eels defenders, including Iongi, most of all, around the ball. Just watching it, looks like he doesn't get it to ground. And Victor Radley had that little bit of disappointment on his face when he stood up. He shook his head a few times.
The ball seems to be held up. We're just making sure through other angles.
Isaiah Iongi's arm looks as though that he's done enough for Parramatta. Possibly the body as well, actually getting underneath. Radley tries hard.
Based on the best available angles, we're supporting the on-field decision of held up with Victor Radley. It'd be tackle 1 based on the 6 more.
So Victor Radley will play it on tackle 1. Once again, we'll get down to Kiana Takarangi when we can, but it has been relentless. Barely a break in play. Victor Radley is about to play it on 1 for the Roosters. 10 away from Parramatta's line. The Eels lead 6-0. We've had 15 minutes at Western Sydney Stadium, and Fahu White will play it 8 metres away from the line. Uelu comes left out of dummy half for Collins. Collins looks for an offload, decides against it. He'll get up and play the ball 5 metres away from the line. Quickly for Uelu out of dummy half, takes a step, goes right to Connor Watson. Savala to Tedesco, passes this time. Josh Adokar juggles, picks it up on his own 20, and he's away. Shut the gate. The Fox has bolted. Josh Adokar with an intercept. He's run 85 metres and scores against the run of play for the Parramatta Eels. They had the numbers on the right, the Roosters. Tedesco threw it. Josh Adokar had to juggle again. But once he got it in his mix, there was no stopping him. Parramatta 10, the Roosters nil, a kick to come.
Yeah, well, his team was so tempted to throw that pass. James Tedesco, he had an opportunity on the previous set when they go to that side, they create an overlap, but he can't get the ball out. This time he really wants to get it there. It is the play to go to the winger. They're 3-on-2, but Josh Adokar positions himself really well. Tedesco doesn't spot him. He throws the pass and it goes straight into the left mid there of the Fox. The juggle, as you said, and once he was in the backfield, there wasn't anyone who's going to catch him.
Touchline, Kiana Takarangi.
Boys, you love to see it. It's not that often that we get to see the Fox open up in, with 80 metres ahead of him, but he's done unreal there. Junior Tupou was trying to get across from the right wing to cover, but he ran out of time there. Fox was too good. Great try there by the Eels.
His 14th try this season. He's got 13 in 15 against the Roosters. 7 in his past 3 games against them, including a hat-trick and 2 doubles. He absolutely loves playing against the Roosters. He's got another one tonight, make it 8 in 4. Still with another 60-plus minutes to go. 17 gone. Parramatta 10, the Roosters nil. Zach Lomax is 9 metres in from the eastern touchline. Moves in now. He's run from 1 so far, and this one is across the face. Unable to add the extras. It remains 10-0. 0467 920 222. Grandstand to the Raiders beat the Bulldogs 56-24. Eels 12 lost to Roosters 56. What was the result of the above 2 NRLW games? What was the result for the Tigers Dragons? NRLW. I'm convinced that you commentators don't really care about the NRLW, as you're always repeating the NRL games. Townsville listener. Thank you very much for your text, Townsville listener. I can tell you that the Raiders did beat the Bulldogs 56-24, and the Titans beat the Dragons 22-4, while the Roosters beat Parramatta 56-12 here at Western Sydney Stadium. While we're on the subject of around the grounds in the AFLW, it is the second quarter, Hawthorn leading Carlton 16-5, and in the men's AFL, first quarter, West Coast leading Sydney by 3 straight goals to no score, as the Parramatta Eels had the ball after points. Jack Williams is 15 metres away from his own line and about 20 in from the eastern touchline. Junior Barlaw now gets hit in a strong tackle. Lindsay Collins and Nafahu White were there doing the damage, and slowly to get to his feet now here. Lindsay Collins has got blood coming from his nose as well, so there'll be a bit of a delay here. It's Dylan Walker that's on the deck now, and Dylan Walker in his 250th NRL game, making his debut all the way back in 2013 for South Sydney against the West Tigers. Teammate, you're probably just about playing there. No, not you were at the Dogs by then.
I was still the Dogs.
Yeah, you're at the Dogs by then. He looks like he's back up on it. Oh, it's a horrible head clash.
It's a head clash, yeah. Big contact. Lindsay's got a split.
There is blood pouring down the face of Lindsay Collins. Let's get down to the touchline, Kiana.
Yeah, it doesn't look good there. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Dill leave the field, which I think he's doing now.
Well, we saw last week, didn't we, with Jack Bird only lasting a few minutes in his 250th game, and I beg your pardon, Jack DeBellin in his 250th game, and now Dylan Walker, who's got a smile on his face, but hopefully he's only going off to get the blood treated. It's a cut right on the bridge of his nose, and Lindsay Collins is getting taped up like Tutankhamun and staying out there at this stage.
Yeah, I think it was a HIA there for D. Walker, the bunker for Dylan Walker, so he'll be assessed.
Yeah.
Lindsay Collins, he's a bit of a warrior. He's had his issues with HIAs and concussions as well, but the trainer's out there mending him up as a moment. He looks pretty good to go.
Thanks to Marie from Canoundra following my Roosters. Appreciate your text message as well. Are the Roosters Tupos related? No, they're not. Thank you for your text message. Bill Bella, as play resumes, Parramatta have the ball 25 away from their line through Jermaine Hopgood. Open side, one off the ruck, left-hand side they go, and they had the ball 31 metres away from the line in centre field. Getting up and playing it is Geimer on the field for Walker. They go right, kicking from his own 30-metre line is Mitchell Moses. It's a deep kick, and it's taken by Junior Tupou on his own 10-metre line. He returns it to the 30, and he takes the tackle about 20 in from the western touchline. Quick play of the ball. One off the ruck is Tedesco. James Tedesco has it 10 short of halfway centre field. Slowly getting up and playing it for Uelu, and open side right, one off the ruck, waiting for it is Nwanga-Nitawazi. Loses the ball in the tackle of Riley Smith and Josh Barley. And Parramatta's celebrating, but the Roosters might challenge this one to see if there was an arm in it. Looked like a loose carry on first viewing, and James Tedesco is going to challenge Dino.
Yeah, he was waiting for a replay. He got
the tackle free on-field ruling is lost. Roosters are claiming a scoop.
Look, Josh Papali's hand is on the ball, but I don't know whether it's enough.
It's going to be one of those tough ones, but you can see Tedesco was looking up to the big screen, seeing if he could get a good look, because the call from Mark Nwanga-Nitawazi came very quickly.
Joash is locked on the arm and ball here. He's initially making a tackle. Just need to see if there's any stripping action.
He might be holding the arm and not the ball.
Yeah, and it might be one where it's do the Roosters hold on to the challenge potentially. It's very tight.
It's a big hand on the ball.
Joash was entitled to be locked onto the arm and the ball in making a tackle. There is no stripping action. It's a loose carry from Mark. The challenge is
So they lose the challenge. Touchline, Kiana.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision there by the bunker. I don't think he was actually playing at the ball, so play on.
Yeah, a good result there for Parramatta. The Roosters have lost their challenge. 19 gone. Parramatta 10, the Roosters 0. Kiana Takanangi, Dean Hallertau, Glenn Lauder on ABC Sport. Good to have your company. Why didn't Lindsay Collins get head knock test 2? Hit high, says Joy. Well, it's a decision made by the on-field trainer and then the independent doctor, and they were happy that Lindsay Collins could stay on. Thanks for your text message on 0467 920 222. Here's Charlie Geimer in the middle of the park for Parramatta, playing the ball 11 inside the Roosters territory. Hopgood goes through the hands to Papali, then Jack Williams. Williams is 25 away from the line. Smith out at dummy half, Papali short left-hand side, 13 away, 13 in from the eastern touchline. Gets up and plays it for Smith. Open side for Barlaw, through their hands to Hopgood. Moses pass out the back is picked up by Bensony, and he tries to skip away from a couple, but he can't get past Connor Watson, who tackles him on the last, 21 away from the line. Moses will change direction, kick back towards the southeastern corner. Coming through his Lomax, he can't handle it, it goes forward, and it will be a Roosters ball on the final play. Roosters get to play the ball 10 away from their own goal line. Parramatta 10, Roosters 0. We've had almost a quarter of the game gone.
Yeah, again, a popular play from the Eels. They go to the open side, switch, kick back to the right short side, which is where Lomax is coming through. Thought Junior Tupou did a good job just to compete and allow Lomax enough time to make a clumsy play at it.
Here is Junior Tupou now with the ball, 20 away from his line. They go open side right for Nwangani Nwaze to take the tackle, 27 away in centre field. Uelu will come to the left and link up with Nafahu White. Nafahu White goes on a strong carry as well to within 11 of the halfway line, getting up and playing it on 4 and kicking on the fourth play. Uelu from inside 40, but he gets possibly a little too much backspin, so the distance doesn't work out, and Iongi can pick it up and return it back in field, and a good chase from Lindsay Collins as well to put Iongi on the ground, 11 away from his own goal line centre field. Papali at dummy half, and then Zach Lomax at first receiver with the carry. The defenders are doing well here. Lenu and Collins making sure the winger doesn't get too far. They come right. Moses then changes direction with the ball back on the inside for Bensony. He takes the tackle, 23 away from the line, 20 in from the western touchline. A wide first receiver, left is Papali. Then they go to Dylan Brown and Williams. Jack Williams on the far left-hand side takes the tackle, about 25 away. It's play 4. This will be the last, and they get the offload through Barlaw. It goes backwards as well, and it's picked up on the final play by Guymer, but now Charlie Guymer loses the ball as he gets up to try to play it. 19 to go in the first half. Parramatta 10, the Roosters 0. They're going to challenge this, Dino.
Yeah, I thought it went forward.
Coming in to tackle 5, on-field ruling's knock on Parra.
Okay, so he's called a knock-on, not a pass.
Yeah, I think
it came from the touch judge. It definitely, like, in my mind, it looked forward, but whether or not it's a pass or a knock-on, it's an attempted pass, isn't it?
Definitely a pass, but I thought maybe because the referee said
Just
play
need to
on,
get perspective on what way the ball travels here.
Charlie Guymer lose it in the
Have you got on the ground, nuts?
subsequently. Yeah,
What part have you got to knock on that?
this is it. The referee's asking the touchy, where's the knock on? Daniel Luttringer, the touch judge on the far side, is he calling Barlaw pass a knock on, or is Guymer losing the ball in the contest with White?
We've had some tricky ones, Adam G, already, like in terms of just odd challenges, odd reviews.
Yeah, and close ones as well, you know, real 50-50s. I think that goes backwards off
The ball
Barlaw.
spirals out of the hands in an attempt to pass, but it's a knock-on from Junior Paulo. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Okay.
Anyone at
So Daniel Luttringer, the touch judge, we don't have the touch judges mic'd up, but he obviously has told Wyatt Raymond and Adam G that he was talking about the Barlaw pass rather than Guymer's collect. So the rule is that it's been a knock-on by Junior Barlaw, even though he's attempting to make the pass, and the Roosters will get a scrum feed about 12 inside Parramatta's territory. Touchline, Kiana.
Boys, we just call that a forward pass and leave it at that.
Exactly. Well, only if the bunker could rule on forward passes. That's why they call it a knock-on. They got away with that with the asterisk next to it. Billy Smith has the ball 13 metres inside Parramatta's territory. Gets up and plays the ball about 15 in from the western touchline. Open side right, one off the ruck goes Angus Crichton, and he has the ball about 31 metres away from Parramatta's line in centre field. 18 and a half to go in the first half. Parramatta 10, the Roosters 0. Here's a carry by Lindsay Collins to within 22 of Parramatta's line. Getting up and playing it for Uelu, who will look to the left and go left for White. White takes it to the line in a strong carry, and he's met by 3 Parramatta players, including Barlaw. Takes the tackle 16 away from the line. Uelu out at dummy half goes right. The pass goes behind Connor Watson, but picked up by Savala. Then Tedesco thinks about passing, goes himself, and Jack Williams is there to stop him. About 15 away from the line. Final play for the Roosters. They trail 10-0. Left-hand side for Savala to kick towards the corner. Nwangani Nwaze is flying through, goes without it. It's picked up, or attempted to be picked up by the Roosters over there on the far side with Rob Toyer, and then lost, I think, in the goal.
Confirmed double knock on first Parra.
I think there were a few knock-ons in there, but maybe Parramatta lose the ball first here, Dino.
it's hard. It's always hard from being so far away. But
Outside kick chase from the Roosters are onside.
So Savala's
Tedesco
kick,
remains passive and out of the play.
Savala's kick for Nwanganitawazi comes off from Nwanganitawazi's back.
it's whether Riongi gets a hand to it, which he appears to.
Shoulder?
Maybe the right hand touches it.
Maybe. Does it touch his right hand or only his left shoulder? He goes up and sort of twists as he makes a play, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Might be a better replay here from the high shot.
Joas plays the man instead of competing. There's an escort there.
So,
From
Joash Papali, who's on the ground, goes through the back of Nwanganitawazi.
That'll be a penalty with a knock on, yeah?
Yeah. It's going to be a Roosters penalty.
Knock on off the Roosters on the ground as well.
Yeah, there's a knock on from Toya and then a knock on from Uelu as well. But it'll come back for the penalty for the escort from Joash Papali, who came through the back of Nwanganitawazi, who was trying to challenge for the ball with Ayongi. I hope all that makes sense.
Yes.
You talk about poor old Adam G. He's earning his cash tonight, isn't he, in the bunker? So they take the penalty 10 metres away from Parramatta's line through a tap, and they go to the left-hand side through Collins. He's 9 metres away from the line centre field. They'll continue to the left. Here's Spencer Lenu. Goes towards the line. Can they keep him out? Just about a metre short of the line. Downtown 10-0 the Jooks. They're at the northern end. Here's Nafahu White. Tries to get under a 3 or 4 or 5. They're coming from everywhere. Parramatta defenders to stop him centimetres away. They go to the right now. Savala, they've got numbers, but it's a poor pass, so they lose the momentum. Nwanganitawazi picks it up off the ground, and he takes the tackle 5 away from the line. Geez, if that was a good pass, they were in. 17:20 to go first half. They come back open side left. Savala gets it away to Connor Watson. Dummies. Now goes left. Crichton, Billy Smith. He's got a winger if he wants to use Tupou. He decides not to and takes the tackle. Final play, he's 12 away from the line, 10 in from the western touchline. They come right. Savala will kick it crossfield towards Nwanganitawazi. Goes up, catches it beautifully AFL style with the hands up in the air. Then gets the pass away to James Tedesco under pressure. Oh, that's Champagne Rugby League from Mark Nwanganitawazi. What a catch, what a pass. And all James Tedesco has to do is back up and score the try. The Roosters are on the board. Parramatta 10, Roosters 4, kick to come, 16 and a half to go in the first half.
Yeah, well, he continues to improve his athleticism, doesn't he, Mark Nwanganitawazi? The kick across field from Savala, it's in a really good spot. Lands on top of Josh Adokar. He's backtracking, just trying to defend it. He waits for Nwanganitawazi to hit the ground, and then he tries to tackle him over the sideline. He gets some support from his outside men, but he's just so strong. He gets his arms free, throws it over the top to his skipper and fullback in James Tedesco. He just has to fall over, as you say, but that's just so hard to defend against.
He just pegs it one-handed. Yeah. That's outstanding. Touch like Kiana.
Yeah, he kind of mistimed his jump there, catching that high ball, but his athleticism, as you mentioned, Dean, was incredible to still manage to make that offload while he was being tackled. So, yeah, great try there for the Roosters.
It's like he was throwing a tennis ball in the playground. That was sensational. And you're right, Kiana, he mistimed the jump, which meant he had to get more hang time. It was fantastic athleticism from Mark Nwanganitawazi, and James Tedesco now has 4 tries in 4 games against Parramatta, so a team that he enjoys playing against as well. That's his 11th in 19 games against the blue and gold. It means that Savala can look to add the extras from about 10 metres in from the eastern touchline, trailing 10 points to 4 the Roosters. 15 and a half to go left in the first half. Strikes this one. The touch judges watch it across the face, and he is unable to add the extras as well. 0467 920 222. The Eels from the start of the year and now are 2 different teams. There have been some incredibly promising signs as this year has gone on with this young team. Looking forward to the future, says Parramatta Rachel. Yes, I agree. Hi Glenn, of course I love Andrew. I'm thinking of him. I'm very impressed with your style you call the game. Thank you very much. Paul from Casula. Andrew also goes to lengths to educate. I hope he's recovering well. We all do as well. Thank you you very much for your text message. Highlights, loving the call. Magpie Man from Bexley off to Leichhardt. Should be a ripper. We're off to Leichhardt tomorrow as well, Magpie Man. Dean Hallertau will be there as well, not in an official capacity with us, because the 2005 Premiership team is celebrating 20 years, of course, over the Cowboys. Their opponents tomorrow as well. 0467 920 222 is that text line number. Kiara Takarangi, Dean Hallertau. I'm Glenn Lauder with the Roosters with the ball after scoring. They're on the board. They trail 10 points to 4. We've got 15 to go in the first half at Western Sydney Stadium after early wins for Manly over the Dolphins and the Warriors over the Gold Coast. They come left-hand side now, the Roosters, and they have the ball through Crichton. He takes the tackle 26 away from the line, about 19 in from the Western touchline. Nafahu White, who's got through a mountain of work so far in the first 25 minutes or so, he's held up in the tackle 10 short of halfway. Scooting out of dummy half is Uelu. He passes forward, picked up by Benson. He wanted to get the offload away, but he was just falling forward and he couldn't wrap it around, and Parramatta pick it up. This will be play 0 for Benson. 3 metres inside Roosters territory. They come to the left. Josh Papali, he didn't know, Papali didn't know what to do with it, and he takes the tackle a metre inside the Roosters half. One off the ruck, left-hand side they go now. That's a strong carry there. Parramatta had the ball through Matt Dory, about 9 metres inside Roosters territory. They come right. Here's Tuolangi. Tuolangi takes the tackle about 36 away from the line. It's play 4, and he's 20 in from the Western touchline with a 10-4 lead. Hopgood gets through their hands. Papali to Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown still going and takes the tackle 23 away from the line. Quick play the ball. Papali comes open side right for Moses, kicking towards the posts. Tuolangi leading the chase. Oh, it's a good take under pressure from our man Connor Watson, and he takes the tackle 5 away from the line. Para 10, Roosters 4, 13 and a half to go first half.
There's a great take by Connor Watson. He gets himself in a position to provide a bit of protection for his fullback in Tedesco, but it's landing right on top of him, so he hops up and takes a really clean catch. But the Eels, once again, they're rolling down the field quite well when they've got the ball in hand, and it's giving Mitch Moses an opportunity to pick where he wants to put his kicks.
Spencer Leniu gets a break. Egan Butcher's on there for the Roosters now. Billy Smith plays the ball 23 away from the line, and here is Butcher with his first carry, taking it up towards the 30-metre line. Final play for the Roosters. They're on their own 30, so Savala's kick will have to be a good one. It is deep, but it's taken on the full by Iongi, 20 away from his own line. He returns it up over the 30 before he's whacked by a good chase from the fresh Butcher, and he's brought to ground 30 away from the line in centre field. You want your Butchers to be fresh, don't you? You don't want anything that's not fresh at the Butchers, that's for sure. Parramatta have the ball 33 away from their line and 17 in from the Western touchline. Dylan Walker's back on the field. He's passed his HIA in game number 250, which is good news for Walker. Plays at 10 short of halfway. They go left. Papali gets it away to Williams, and Williams takes the tackle a metre short of halfway. Para 10, Roosters 4, 12 and a half to go first half. Smith dummy half, right for Walker. Gets it away to Dory, out the back for Moses. Spinning it here to the right-hand side. Benson, he had Zomax, but he takes the tackle 8 inside Roosters territory. They come short. Moses is running out of room, so he kicks with the touchline in sight. Back in field. Lomax picks it up. Still the last. He passes off the ground almost, but he was going to ground, so it's still play on. Still the last. Dylan Walker will kick across field. A sensational kick for Josh Addo-Carr. The Fox on the double. His third double in 4 games, and the other one was a hat-trick against the Roosters. Josh Addo-Carr, Parramatta lead 14-4 with a kick to come, 11 and a half to go. What about the kick from Dylan Walker?
Amazing stuff there from the Eels. Firstly, they shift to their right and they get a quick play the ball on last, so they go down a short side. Mitch Moses puts the hammer on. He's only got Zach Lomax with him, so he pops it up in the air. Zach Lomax, as we keep talking about the aerial acrobat, he gets up and somehow squeezes the ball out the back. Benson does a great job to keep it alive and find Dylan Walker, who shows he's got the full kit bag of skills. He's been a really good middle, a good ball player. He pops it on the boot all the way across to an unmarked man in Josh Addo-Carr. He takes an easy catch and dives over for his second try. Really good attacking football from the Eels.
Touchline, Kiana.
Nick Moses got absolutely whacked after he made that first kick, so he kind of face planted right in front of me. He was really happy to see that a second kick was put in and Fox going over to score on the corner there. What a try there.
We've had a bit of a dipsy doodle in the commentary box as well as I clean up the water bottle Well, I was so excited by Josh Addo-Carr's second try and a beautiful kick from Dylan Walker. Geez, Billy Walters put a kick through last week in similar fashion and very reminiscent of that Brisbane Broncos play, but Parramatta 14-4 with 10.5 to go in the first half. Thank you, Dennis. Zach Lomax, 10 metres in from the eastern touchline. The extras on this occasion. Missed the last one from a similar distance. This one hits the post and Zach Lomax can't convert again. He's 1 from 3 tonight. And Parramatta lead 14 points to 4. 0467 920 222. Sam Walker not coming back, says Joy. Correct, Joy. He is not coming back. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, took the Roosters in tipping. Wow. Chrissy Hines. I'll stand by you, Chrissy Hines, says Greg at Ride for Andrew. Thank you very much. What happened with Sam Walker, regards Christian? Well, he was on the end of a Kelma-Tuolangi freight train hit up. He went straight over the top of him, and Sam Walker has not recovered from that. So we will get more of an update as the afternoon goes on. Could we hear the interview with Travis Main and Tino Fasuamala-Awi again, maybe during half-time? Great insight, real concern for David Fafita. Yeah, it was a great interview. Thank you for your text message. If we have time after the game, we're on here till 10 p.m. Eastern. We might try to play that again after full time. So, yeah, I agree. Wonderful interview and really passionate defence of his mate as well, as Parramatta have the ball about 8 away from their own goal line. There's 10 minutes to go in the first half. Dylan Walker has the ball 16 away in centre field. 14 points to 4. Parramatta leading the Roosters as they come open side right short for Tuolangi. Plays the ball 20 metres away from his own line, 20 in from the western touchline. Now here's Hopgood straightening on his run through the centre of the field. He'll play it 30 away from the line. Smith out of dummy half. Walker back on the inside. Iongi almost split the gap. They almost caught the Roosters out close to the ruck there, but they scrambled well. Final play. Moses will kick inside 40. It's a deep kick, but it won't go near the touchline. It's taken by Junior Tupou on his own 10-metre line, and he'll return it where he's met by Hopgood and also Tuolangi. 25 away with 9.5 to go in the first half. Parramatta leading 14-4 over the Roosters.
Yeah, just seen Nafahu White come from the field. He's had the whole first half
here's
so
the
far.
Wazi, sorry, Dino, I thought he was away, but he's brought to ground 12 short of halfway, Dino.
Yeah, there's been a lot asked of the middles for the Roosters, and Uelu's going to play a lot more minutes. Obviously, with Sam Walker not returning this evening, we're going to see Connor Watson, out in that half position for the remainder of the match.
He can butcher through their hands to that man, Connor Watson. Gets it away to Tedesco, and then Billy Smith loses it as he was looking at Mitchell Moses, and the Roosters give the ball away on halfway. Parramatta will get the scrum feed right in the centre of Western Sydney Stadium, leading 14-4 with 8.5 to go first half.
Yeah, just drops his lows there. Mitch Moses gave him a pretty big shot after he spilt the ball there. Billy Smith, just watching the replay, awkwardly bends him back.
Touchline, Kiana.
Yeah, it looked like Billy Smith just had a little look up and, he spilled his lollies there. Not good for the Roosters.
Give the Eels a half-decent goal kicker and they wouldn't be 14th. Same bloke missed in Origin as well, an unlikely loss recently. Go the Eels, says Steve at Kincumber. I take your point, Steve, but I think he's overall an excellent goal kicker. Has had some off nights, but generally you'd have Zach Lomax kicking any day of the week for you, as Parramatta have the ball about 11 inside the Roosters' territory. But I do completely understand your point, Steve. Thank you for that one. Less than 8 minutes to go first half. Parramatta lead 14-4 and in possession, 35 away from the Roosters' line. They come open side right through Moses to Tuolangi. He's wrapped up in the tackle, 20 metres away and 15 in from the western touchline. Play 4 for Parramatta. The Parra chant is up at the stadium as they go left through Papali, gets it away to Williams, wrapped up in the tackle, 10 away from the line. Final play. Williams gets up and plays it for Smith. Moses will kick across field towards Lomax's corner. It was too high. It was off Tupou. Landed on by Bensony. He might have scored here, Will Bensony.
Okay, I've got knocked back off. Roosters 6 to go, coming into the tie.
Yep, this has come off Junior Tupou. It's gone through the hands and dived on by Will Bensony after a wonderful kick across field by Mitchell Moses. I think the referee has got that one absolutely right, and Junior Tupou is hanging his head. He knew that he made the a mistake, and Benson, he was there to dive on it. Parramatta 18-4 with 6.5 to go first half.
Sorry, Esther. Yeah, it was a great kick once again. Mitch Moses has got it on a string, and he just puts it where he wants to. He knows he's going to have his man Lomax coming through to put pressure on Tupou, who we know hasn't had a time in first grade this year. I feel like maybe Zach Lomax got a hand on that, but we'll see after further investigation. Nevertheless, it's a great attacking play, and for the time being, the Eels have 4 points on the board.
Yeah, they'd be hoping that Zach Lomax's fingers got on that Kiana touchline, and maybe even Will Benson. His grounding is in question here as well.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Junior Tupou after that. He's clutching at his left shoulder. He's been with the trainer, so we'll keep a close eye on him.
Adam G's going to look at this. There's a few things that may go against Parramatta here.
I think it's a
Chase was cleared as onside.
Lomax hits
The
it.
right hand here touches the ball.
Yeah.
Play through.
You don't need to play through.
Of Zach Lomax, it's then knocked forward. We have a decision.
Okay, right. Fair enough. I thought they were going to look at the grounding. Yeah, it's a knock-on-in goal by Zach Lomax. 20-metre restart for the Roosters. So the score will remain 14 points to 4 with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
James Tedesco came straight across to White Raymond after the try was scored. It was a bit of a right grin. I think I was seeing pretty clearly what had happened, and they get the ball back as a result.
Yeah, so they come away from their own end here. The Roosters with a 7-tackle set, and they will play it on play 2 through Egan Butcher, about 28 away. Right-hand side, one off the rock. They go through the middle of the park. Rob Toyer makes it to within 12 of halfway. Now they come back left again, and Angus Crichton has the ball about 3 short of the halfway line. Held up in the tackle, about 20 in from the western touchline. Just over 6.5 to go in the first half. Parramatta with a 14 points to 4 lead over the possibly more fancied Roosters, who play the ball through Connor Watson, 6 metres inside Parramatta's territory, close to the western touchline. So they go back open side right. Butcher gets it away to Uelu through the hands. Tedesco right hand side has Rob Toyer. Toyer gets away from a couple, but Dylan Brown held onto him strongly. And then Papali came across and helped out on the 30-metre line. So he plays the ball. Tedesco's at dummy half. Left hand side he goes. One off the ruck. The kick goes over the top. Collins is chasing. There's got to be an offside there. There's a knock on. Siwa Wong knocks it on. Lindsay Collins. They don't have a challenge here. So if he's calling a knock on, Lindsay Collins has to be in front of Siwa Wong, I believe, and they don't have a challenge, but they're blowing up the Roosters.
Yeah, I thought it would be an offside, but it may have touched an eel in between. That might be the... he's just...
knocked on.
There you go. There's a lot of questions being asked by players on the field, but he's already made his decision. White Raymond, it's going to be a scrum.
No clock. They touched it in the contest off the body, which goes to tackle 1.
And that means that Lindsay Collins is an offside.
Yes.
It's in.
It's been a bizarre night for refereeing rulings, hasn't it?
Very bizarre.
White Raymond has had to dig deep into the laws of the game tonight as they win the scrum feed. 10 away from their own line, Parramatta. 5 minutes to go in the first half. 14-4 they lead. I always remember section 15-1 was reckless, careless or intentional high tackle. As Parramatta had the ball 31 metres away from the line, 10 in from the western touchline. That was a long time ago, 26 years. As they have the ball in centre field, Jermaine Hopgood, 10 away from halfway. Gets up and plays it for Riley Smith. I'm sure our text line will tell me that I'm wrong. Papali almost loses it, but he does well to hold on to it, then takes the tackle of Bradley about 5 short of the halfway line with a 14-4 lead. They come open side for Moses to kick on the final play, down towards Tupou. Takes it 12 away from the line. He returns back into the middle where he's met by 3 Parramatta players, including Smith down low and Matt Gorey up top. Let's go down to the touchline, Kiana Takarangi.
Yeah, boys, I'm laughing at the Roosters trying to get at White Raymond. They sounded like nagging seagulls there, but without a challenge, they can't get anything.
Plucky Roosters. Yeah, no, the challenge has killed them, right? So, nothing doing for them at the moment. 4 minutes to go in the first half. They trail by 10. They do have the ball, though. Wong plays it 3 short of halfway. They go to the right-hand side. Victor Radley takes the tackle on play 4. 5 metres inside Parramatta's territory. 20 in from the eastern touchline. They come open side left through Butcher. Dummies goes himself. Runs into to Smith and Walker over the top. Final play. He'll get up and play the ball for Uelu to go left for Savala. Kicks back across field. It's an ugly midfield bomb. No one wants to take the catch, so finally Papali gets it on the bounce and then takes the tackle. 21 away from his line and 25 in from the eastern touchline. And there's a second play there. Victor Radley was too slow to get off, and they get a penalty, and it's a bit of a piggyback here on their own 20-metre line here. Parramatta with a 10 points lead with 3 minutes to go first half.
Yeah, Victor Radley was claiming that he was being held by the headgear strap, so might be a bit of a cheeky one there from the Eels. But on that last play on the kick, it bounced. It was a 6 again call from the referee, so it was obviously an intentional touch from the Eels in the kick in action, but the Roosters let it bounce. They could have had another 6 tackles if they take it on the full.
It'll take divine intervention with no Sam Walker, most important player in the comp for the Chooks, says Clancy at air. Thank you for your text message on 0467920222. It was a good touch finder as well. Matt Dory has it from the subsequent play. About 7 inside Roosters territory. They come left through Walker. Papali takes it to the line and then takes the tackle. Third man in of Wong puts him on the ground. 35 away from the Roosters line. There's 2.5 to go in the first half. Parramatta still leading 14-4. Hopgood takes the tackle 30 metres away in centre field. He'll get up slowly and play the ball. Come open side right now. Moses goes to the line, gets it away out the back, ends up with Bensony, and he finds himself 16 away from the line, 8 metres inside the western touchline after the tackle of Billy Smith. Yongi at dummy half, left-hand side Moses, gets it away to Smith, on it goes for Papali, and Dylan Brown is brought to ground, 19 away over on the eastern side. Final play for Parramatta. Moses at first receiver, kicks towards the post, chases it coming through, Watson goes up, he runs into his own man Billy Smith, but even under the pressure of his own teammate, takes the catch well, Connor Watson, and then takes the tackle of Walker a metre away from the line. 1:50 to go first half. Para 14, Roosters 4.
He's a bit of a crossfield kick defusal expert at the moment, Connor Watson. One thing I just wanted to point out, I'm really enjoying the battle, Robert Toyer against Dylan Brown. Now, Dylan Brown obviously been mostly a 5'8". He's had to move out to accommodate Papali, but he's doing a really good job in that matchup with an origin centre.
Siwa Wong, 22 metres away from the Roosters line. Here's Tedesco, goes on a run. He has Radley in support. Good tackle from Dylan Brown with Radley charging through. But they get a quick play the ball. Tedesco goes right. It's lost by Rob Toyer. And the man just gave a run there. Rob Toyer loses the ball, as always. It's just about the way. And Parramatta will get the ball back 20 metres in from the eastern touchline, just inside the Roosters territory. And I saw Mitchell Moses blowing up there again to get the ball back quickly.
He's always wanting to go, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's always an opportunity that he doesn't want to miss.
So 55 seconds left in the first half. Parramatta leading 14 points to 4 at Western Sydney Stadium. Matt Dory plays at centre field. They come right, and then Kelma Tuolangi pinballs off a couple before goes to ground. 34 away from the Roosters line. 22 in from the western touchline. The fans trying to will them on to score another try before halftime. Papali, Iongi, Brown, left-hand side. Toyer out of the line. Great tackle, Rob Toyer, on his opposite number 4, Brown. 20 away from the Roosters line. They come back right, Iongi. Papali goes to Moses, tries to tap it on, gets it away to Tuolangi backwards. Now, I thought Moses might have knocked the ball on as he tried to tap it on there. The referee waited, and then the touch judge on the near side, Chris Sutton's giving him the call. The Roosters get the scrum feed with 6 seconds to go, and the clock is on. But the Roosters want this packed, and they do get it packed with 2 seconds to go.
Yeah, some sort of scrum play they're going to have to come up with here. I dare say it'll be a long kick, do your best. But yeah, I love seeing Mitch Moses' passion after something goes wrong. Maybe a pass that wasn't where he wanted it to be with the tip on, and Roosters here 2 seconds.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get away with it from White Raymond, but Chris Sutton obviously gave Raymond the call. Here's the scrum play. They go right. Savala kicks early. It's a midfield bomb. Flying through Tedesco. It comes off Iongi's knee. It's picked up by Toyer. Then he goes right for Nwanganu in a score. Oh, talk about a scrum play. What about that from the Roosters? Savala kick from inside his own 30. Iongi couldn't handle it. And then the Roosters flying through on that right-hand inside. Rob Toyer did well as well, but it was Mark Nwanganita-Wazi who finishes off in the corner, and that is sensational from the Roosters. Parramatta 14, Roosters 8 with a kick to come.
Yeah, it was James Tedesco, the skipper, who chased us through on the kick. We spoke about what was going to come up in this last 2 seconds, and he gets through, puts the pressure on Iongi, who spills his lollies. Have you seen that a few times tonight? Just that presence there of Tedesco enables Toyer to come through on the scraps. And you're right, he did a great job to pick the ball up on the hop, and then once it gets in the hands of Nwanganita-Wazi, there was no one that was going to round him up.
Savala's kick didn't look pretty, but I tell you what, the work of James Tedesco to put Iongi under pressure was fantastic as we go down to the touchline. Kiana.
Yeah, I definitely think he shanked that kick, but they found a really good result, and Dean, you were right, you caught it. It was just going to be a kick and hope for the best, and they've come away with the best result there.
Certainly have. Hoping for the best. The 4-pointer to Nwanganita-Wazi with a double tonight. And Savala will have to kick this one from the touchline. 14 points to 8. How crucial could that try just before halftime be for the Roosters? All Roosters, Walker going groggy. No challenge will be the only things to go against Uncle Nick's precious petals in months, protected from umpires, says Graham. Thank you very much. And now we're just looking at whether Tedesco might have got a touch on this on the way through.
They haven't. They've cleared Savala to kick it yet.
No, the referee hasn't called timeout. Oh, well, it doesn't matter because it's half time. Does Tedesco get fingers on this coming through?
It's on the outside of his left forearm, I would think.
And these angles make it difficult. There might have been a flick of Tedesco's hand if he's making a play with his left hand. Does he knock it into Iongi? Jeez, Adam G hasn't stopped tonight. Here we go. This is going to be a knock-on to James Tedesco. Adam G in the bunker. Wyatt Raymond
Kick
has
chase from
signalled.
the Roosters has been cleared as onside. Just looking at the contest here.
Does it flick James Tedesco's left arm?
James Tedesco's left arm is between the Parramatta player. It hits his left forearm and then deviates into the Parramatta player. It's a double knock on the first off the Roosters. We have a decision.
There you go.
No try. More drama at Western Sydney Stadium. The bunker has been heavily involved in this opening 40 minutes, and this will be a James Tedesco knock-on, meaning it's half-time. Parramatta leading 14 points to 4 over the Roosters. Well, the scrum play just about came up trumps Dean Hallertau, but by the faintest of margins, James Tedesco's arm was in the wrong place.
Yeah, and I think he probably knew that he got a touch on it, James Tedesco. He might have been hoping for the best in that. The video would have been inconclusive, but I wouldn't say it's clear as day, but you could see that left arm just ricocheted the ball into Iongi there, and it took a while for it to come through, so that was maybe the question mark, is why is this taking so long? Nevertheless, the 4 points comes off the board, and they go in with the score remaining the way it was. And I've got to say, for the Eels, it was a really good first half of football. They completed really highly. They spent a lot of time down attacking the Roosters line. Maybe they would have liked to have come away with more points, but there's a lot of positive play in their footy. Mitch Moses with the kicks, spot on every time he put it where he wanted it to go. The Fox, seeing him in open space with that intercept try early in the first half was great. Some good contributions through the middle of the field as well. Junior Paulo and his stint, Jermaine Hopgood leading as well from the front. So a lot of positive stuff from the Eels. The Roosters, even though they lost Sam Walker early, they still fought really hard. They asked a lot of their middles. They're going to have to figure out that rotation. Connor Watson as a relieving 9 for Uelu is going to be a bit of a puzzle they need to fix, but we might see Radley spend some time at hooker at some stage if Uelu needs a break. So very big half coming up for the Roosters.
Let's go down to the touchline. Kiana Takarangi, what do you think the coaches are going to have to say at half-time?
Oh, I think there'll be a bit to say. It's been a bit of a weird first half, to be honest, but I do think that the Parramatta Eels have looked to be the better team. They've completed at 83% in that half, which is quite good. So, yeah, I think the Parramatta Eels will be quite happy with their half. I feel for the Roosters a little bit with the loss of Sam Walker, so it'll be interesting to see how they go with handling the reshuffle in the second half.
Yeah, the most that Benai Uelu has played is 51 minutes against the Cowboys in round 16. So if he's going to have to potentially play 80, that could be a big night for Benai Uelu at hooker. Of course, with that rotation with Sam Walker gone. Just having a look at some of the other stats, as you touched on, Kiana, 86%, 20 of 23 sets. The Roosters completing 14 of 19 at 73%. The Roosters running for 725 metres off 101 runs. The Roosters 571 off 79 runs. And the Roosters lead the tackle breaks 13-10 and offloads Parramatta 3 over the Roosters 2. In terms of defensive work, Parramatta's made 171 and missed 13 at 90%, and the Roosters have missed 10, made 182 at 92%. 9 errors to the Roosters for Parramatta's 6. The penalty count is 3-all. As I say, Jermaine Hopgood scored the first try for Parramatta. Josh Adokar has a double. Zach Lomax has kicked 1 from 3. James Tedesco with the try for the Roosters. 0467920222. Bulldog Steve is all over it. Tedesco touched that. Thank you very much. I enjoy the commentary, but don't understand why they call them chooks instead of roosters. Chooks are females and roosters are males. I always thought they were called the Roosters. Well, they've got an NRLW team now as well, so you call them both. I'm not an expert in poultry, but Dennis Carnahan is. Thankfully, we've got the ABC's poultry correspondent with us, and he tells us that hens are females and chooks can be universal. Chooks can just be, it's not a gender-specific term. So thank you for that text message. Glad that we are solving the big issues. Hey, Glendino, I'm loving this. The boys on song tonight with defence and attack. Roosters just thought it was going to be easy tonight, but the Eels, they're good so far, says Dubbo Dragon. Thank you very much. 0467920222 around the grounds in the AFL Women's. Third quarter, Hawthorn 20, Carlton 14, and that's three-quarter time, actually. And then in the AFL, second quarter, West Coast leading Sydney 36-29. The Women's Rugby World Cup's underway in the UK as well. The Wallaroos taking on Samoa at 9 p.m. Let's get, halftime here at Western Sydney Stadium, where it is Parramatta 14 leading the Roosters 4. Let's get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Thanmaya Navada. A UN rapporteur says a UN-backed World Hunger Body has used conservative measurements to determine famine in Gaza. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification System says a quarter of Palestinians in Gaza City are experiencing famine, with over 640,000 predicted to suffer from it in weeks. Israel has continued to deny their starvation in Gaza, labelling the report an outright lie. UN Special Rapporteur on the Right to Food, Michael Fakhri, says the Global Hunger Monitor based its determination on 3 key measures.
What they do is they measure 3 elements. One, at least 20% of the population has to be experiencing severe food shortage. 2, 1 out of 3 children are acutely malnourished. And 3, 2 people are dying per day out of the 10,000 inhabitants due to hunger, malnutrition.
Federal Employment Minister Amanda Rishworth is calling on the opposition to clarify whether it'll support the government's bill to prevent the Fair Work Commission from reducing penalty rates. Labor is expected to table the legislation next week, which would ensure the Commission can't approve awards that cut penalty and overtime rates. Amanda Rishworth says she's written to the Shadow Employment Minister to ask the coalition to support the bill.
So far, they've been obfuscating their position. They haven't been clear about what they're going to do. They put a dissenting report into the Senate inquiry with no clear reasoning or real logic into why we shouldn't have the lowest paid workers protected in this country.
A parole board in California has denied parole to Lyle Menendez, imprisoned 35 years ago with his brother Eric for the shotgun murders of their parents at their Los Angeles home. Larry Buttrose reports.
The ruling was announced at the end of an 11-hour-plus hearing. Parole commissioners concluded Lyle Menendez could pose a risk to the public if released. The 57-year-old appeared in blue prison garb via video link from a San Diego jail. It comes just a day after his younger brother, 54-year-old Eric Menendez, was also denied parole. They were sentenced to life in prison in 1996 for killing their father, Jose Menendez, and mother, Kitty Menendez, in their Beverly Hills home in 1989. They can apply for parole again in 3 years.
US President Donald Trump has indicated Chicago will likely be the next American city to see the military deployed onto its streets. It comes as the Pentagon orders around 2,000 National Guard troops patrolling Washington, D.C. to carry weapons. Mr. Trump has repeatedly described large cities run by Democrats as dangerous and filthy. He says he wants to deploy soldiers to New York and Chicago.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this, and it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come.
The Victorian government says it's heartened by new figures showing a reduction in the number of distracted drivers on the roads. The latest road safety camera figures show a 36% decrease in the number of infringements issued from January to March this year compared to the same period last year. Police Minister Anthony Carbine says it shows that many Victorians are doing the right thing.
The fact that 10,000 less infringements have been issued than this time last year, despite more camera hours and more cameras operating, is a demonstration Victorians are getting the message. If we can issue no fines at all, that'd be a fantastic result.
A new report reveals fewer people are frequently visiting Sydney's nightlife hotspots. Ruby Ritchie has the details.
According to the Nighttime Industries Association's quarterly report, the average visitor frequency has dropped in every Sydney nightlife precinct, with declines ranging from 12 to 24% year on year. Crown Street, the Uptown District near Circular Quay and Chippendale have all experienced the largest drops in the past year. The report says the rising cost of living has led to patrons spending less and making fewer repeat visits. Despite the challenges though, Oxford Street West has seen a boost in attendees compared to last year, increasing by almost 20% and recording growth in what the report refers to as unique visitors by almost 38%.
And in sport, Geelong has sewn up second place on the ladder in the final round of the AFL's home and away season, downing Richmond by 39 points at the MCG. The final score was the Cats 14-19-103 to the Tigers 9-10-64. Earlier, Adelaide secured the minor premiership with a 13-point win over North Melbourne.
The new neighbour.
I'm Isabel.
Who's not what she seems.
Somebody here knows something. You'd be amazed the things you learn about a place if you pay attention.
The Family Next Door. Sunday nights on ABC TV and ABC iView.
Hi, I'm Corbin Middlemass.
And I'm Ed Cowan.
He played Test cricket for Australia.
And Ed Cowan gets his first Test match century.
And he commentates the cricket.
Stark tries again. He rocks in! Straight through him! Together, we're giving you your weekly cricket conversation.
We're pulling apart the biggest stories in the sport and delivering them to you each and every week.
It's called the Grandstand Cricket Podcast. Find it on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
It's a high kick, waiting for it is Tupou, goes high, bounces off the chest, played up, picked up by Tuolungi. He has Jermaine Hopgood in support. The big front rower scores his second of the season, and Parramatta are on the board. You'd have to say it's deserved. Tedesco passes this time. Josh Adokar juggles, picks it up on his own 20, and he's away. Shut the gate. The Fox has bolted. Josh Adokar with an intercept. He's run 85 metres and scores against a run of play. They come right. Savalu will kick it crossfield towards Nwanga-Nitawazi. Goes up, catches it beautifully AFL style with the hands up in the air. Then gets the pass away to James Tedesco under pressure. Oh, that's Champagne Rugby League from Mark Nwanga-Nitawazi. Back in field, Lomax picks it up, still the last. He passes off the ground almost, but he was going to ground, so it's still play on. Still the last. Dylan Walker will kick across field. A sensational kick for Josh Adokar.
The 2025 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Welcome back to Western Sydney Stadium. At half-time, the Parramatta Eels 14 leading the Sydney Roosters 4. The Roosters, of course, looking to consolidate their spot in the top 8. Parramatta just about avoiding the wooden spoon. You can almost guarantee that has already been done after the Titans loss earlier this afternoon. Two big games earlier this afternoon in the National Rugby League. 58 points to 30. Manly defeating the Dolphins. The Warriors 32 were too good for the Gold Coast Titans. And there were three games in the NRLW today as well, with Canberra beating the Bulldogs 56-24. The Titans over the Dragons 22-4. And the Roosters over the Eels here at Western Sydney Stadium 56-12. Wins in the New South Wales Cup for the Warriors 54-4 over Parramatta. Western Suburbs got beaten by the Bulldogs 40-18. The Dragons beat Penrith 31-30 and Canberra beat the Rabbitohs 38-26. Jersey Flegg, Cronulla beat the Kaiviti Silktails 22-16 and Penrith beat the Dragons 44-32. There were wins for the Raiders, the Storm, the Roosters and the Bulldogs as well. Full-time in Queensland Cup, wins for the East Tigers, winner Manly, the Bears and the Sunshine Coast Falcons. In the AFLW, there were wins for Collingwood, Melbourne and Sydney. In the AFL, Adelaide has clinched the minor premiership with a 113-100 win over North Melbourne. Live scores at the moment, third quarter in the AFLW, Hawthorn leading Carlton 20-14, three-quarter time, and half-time in the AFL, West Coast leading Sydney 42-35. Here at Western Sydney Stadium, a really fascinating opening 40. There was a lot for the bunker to do. There were some weird decisions that had to be made, but in the end, I think the referees had a pretty good first half. As we have a look at some of the player stats in terms of tackles made, Lindsay Collins and Jermaine Hopgood making 22 each. Josh Adokar, no surprise, running for 121. Nafahu White had a really big first half for the Roosters. He ran for 61 metres, and Lindsay Collins ran for 46. The Roosters are back out on the field. Dean Hallertau is alongside me. We'll get Kiana Takarangi's reactions after the start of the second half. But Dean Hallertau, what do you think the coaches would have had to say at half-time with the Roosters back out there ready to go?
I'm sure Jason Riles would have been really pleased with the first half effort from the Eels in terms of their intensity and the way that they rolled their sleeves up to get downfield. They took their opportunities when they could, and their intercepts were really, really good. They come up with obviously 14 points, but the kicking game was pretty good from Mitch Moses. They were getting the corners, but they were put in good position from that work, as I mentioned, that they did up there in the field. For the Roosters, they held in there well. They scrapped. They're a little bit clunky at times in attack, and that's always going to happen when you lose your half early on. So I think the message from Trent Robinson would have been just to stick to the process, to play through their sets. The opportunities will come, and I think we'll probably see James Tedesco get more involved and try and lead his team around the park.
We are just about to get underway in the second half. 0467 920 222. Tony from Fingra, loving the call. How competitive this year's footy. And from the Chin, sounding great, enjoying the call so far. Team, let's go Parramatta for the upset. Thank you very much to the Chin Dog for that text message. Hey team, this is Steve in Northmead. Following the Eels for 46 years, they've done well not to be near the spoon. Where would they be if Mitchell was there for the whole season? Lomax and Adokar have been the core of their season. Would you agree? Yeah, they've been very, very important players, and I think the addition of Joash Apali as they look to life after Dylan Brown will be a pretty interesting future as well. He's a decent young footballer, as is Isaiah Yongi, and they have the ball here now, Parramatta, after the restart, getting away to Talangi over on the far side. Tuolangi over on the far side, about 13 metres away from his own line, 15 in from the eastern touchline as they come back into the centre of the park. Still struggling to get out of their own red zone here through Hopgood. They come to the left through Walker, through the hands of Papali, ends up with Williams, and he takes the tackle on the 20-metre line on play 4. It's been a good defensive set. First up here off the kick for the Roosters. Dylan Walker is brought to ground in the last 25 away from his line. Moses has to kick from that position all the way downfield. It is a deep one, but Tedesco takes it 15 away from his lone line, and he has plenty of time as well to return the ball back up towards the 30. He crabbed across the field from the left to the right. Williams was the first there to make the tackle, and he plays the ball as they come back to the left-hand side in the middle of the park through Nwangani-Tawaze. He takes the tackle 13 away from the halfway line in centre field. They come open side left. Victor Radley takes it up towards the halfway line. He's about 6 metres short, and he'll get up and take the tackle of Dylan Walker, play the ball, and they come open side, short side left on this occasion, where they have the ball through Angus Crichton right on halfway for the Roosters play 4. They come back right now. Radley through the hands of Savala. Gets it away to Tedesco and Rob Toya. Toya tries to push away one. Gets the flick pass offload out the back. Tedesco has to go behind him and pick it up, and they lose a little bit of momentum. Now Tedesco has the ball in the middle of the field on the final play after the tackle of Smith. Plays the ball for Uwelu, who comes right for Savala to kick under pressure. It's bouncing downfield in the middle, and it's picked up by Iongi, who'll take the tackle 12 away from his own line. It is the halftime score, still after 2 minutes of the second half. Parramatta 14, the Roosters 4.
Yeah, again, the Roosters clunky with the ball in hand, and they scrapped away at the end of the set. There was a pressured kick coming from Savala, so he didn't hit it the way that he wanted, but they're defending okay with a loose pass here from the Eels as they try and get away from their own end.
An offload from Benson. He finds Moses, who's hitting a high tackle, Mitchell Moses. So they will get the relieving penalty. Billy Smith came over the top. Junior Tupou was in there as well. And Parramatta get the penalty 35 metres away from their own line. 10 in from the eastern touchline as we wait for them to find touch over on that far side. Let's get down to the touchline with Kiana Takarangi.
Yeah, disappointing result there for the Roosters, especially after that first defensive set. They came out firing. They didn't give Parra much to work with, and now they've let them out of trouble, basically.
It was Junior Tupou who came over the top and gave away that high tackle, and now Parramatta can start this set about 6 metres inside Roosters territory. Matt Dory gets up and plays the ball. They go left for Walker, then for Parley, who changes direction and sends Williams back on the inside. Jack Williams is 10 metres inside Roosters territory. They come to the right-hand side. Dylan Walker gets it to Moses and then Iongi, and Iongi takes the tackle 35 away from the Roosters line, 15 in from the eastern touchline, with Parramatta still leading by 10. Here's Walker going left for Papali to the line, then Williams, and Williams is 25 away, brought down 20 in from the western touchline. Smith scooting out of dummy half, gets it away to Walker. He has Hopgood in support. Now Moses, they're going right here. Iongi, touched by the Roosters, 6 again for Parramatta, and they'll start this set only 9 away from the line. Getting up and playing it is Lomax. They come back to the left. They were close to the eastern touchline. Moses gets it away to Hopgood, and Hopgood takes their tackle 11 away from the Roosters line. 14-4, Parramatta leads. Smith left out of dummy half. Moses dummies, and then he's whacked by Angus Crichton 1-on-1, 9 away from the line. He's a bit slow to get to his feet here, Mitchell Moses. Now he does so. Smith left out of dummy half. The Parley gets it away to Dylan Brown. Brown's 8 away from the line. 10 in from the western touchline. Adokar at dummy half goes right for Smith. Gets it away to Moses. Dummies, grabbing across field. Tulangi there as well. And he takes the tackle. They get another set here from 3-0. So another full set for Parramatta. Left for Walker. Bounces off Lindsay Collins. Collins goes again, and he's joined by Victor Radley. And finally, Dylan Walker's brought to ground 4 away from the line, adjacent to the left-hand upright. Smith comes left. Papali gets it away with Brown. Numbers. Fox looking for a hat-trick. He tries to flick pass back inside, but it's good defending by Mark Nwanganita-Waze to put Josh Adokar over the touchline and deny Parramatta. The Roosters will get the ball back on their own 10-metre line. 5 gone second half. Parramatta 14, Roosters 4.
Yeah, great scramble from the Roosters. They were asked to do a lot there. Plenty of questions from the Eels attack, and they go to their left through some good movement. Papali with the ball at the back to Dylan Brown. He's had that one-on-one battle going with Robert Toya, so he gives the ball a little bit earlier to his winger in Josh Adokar, but Mark Nwanganita-Waze does a great job to position him and then drive him over the sideline.
So Tupou plays it for the Roosters, 15 away from his own goal line. They go to the left-hand side and find themselves 24 away through Billy Smith. He plays the ball for Watson at dummy half. Watson comes open side right, and the Roosters advance it to the 30-metre line. Getting up and playing it is Crichton. They come back to the right now. Radley gets it away to Lindsay Collins, who loses the ball. Good defending by Parramatta to force the ball free from Lindsay Collins. Parramatta will get a scrum feed. 35 away from the Roosters line. 34 minutes left in this one. Parramatta 14, Roosters 4. Let's get down to the touchline. Kiana Takarangi.
Yeah, that's really good there by the Parramatta Eels. The video replay just showed Jason Riles blowing up, hitting the mirror of the box early after that error. So he'll be really happy that the team's got the ball back in good position.
And losing the ball close to the line and then winning it back 35 away. 14-4, they lead Parramatta. Smith's at the base of the scrum, picks the ball up, goes left for Dylan Brown. 30 metres away from the Roosters line, he plays it for Smith. Here's a strong run from Matt Dory straight down the middle of the park, plays it 20 away from the western touchline. Walker keeps it alive for Hopgood, and Hopgood takes the tackle 14 away from the line, centre field. Smith goes right. Moses close for Tuolangi. Oh, good defending, forcing the ball out. It'll be a Parramatta knock on. The line was just about open, but they got their hands on the ball and a loose carry close to the line by Kelma Tuolangi. A let off by the Roosters. They get the ball through a scrum feed, 10 away from their own line. 7 gone second half. Parramatta 14, Roosters 4.
Yeah, Connor Watson, well done on the good defence there, because he almost gets beaten on the outside. Great line run by Tuolangi. Really nice pass to put him in that space from Mitch Moses, but Watson sticks with it. He gets over the top, forces the error, and gets his team off the hook once again.
Half time in the AFL. West Coast 42, Sydney 35. Fourth quarter in the AFL. Hawthorn leading Carlton AFLW 24-22. As they go, is that fourth quarter net or third quarter? I think it was 3/4 time. I looked at it last, but apologies if I got that one wrong. Here is the Roosters. They have the ball about 20 metres away from their own line, getting up and playing it through Tupou. They go to the left-hand side, and they have the ball through Egan Butcher, the Roosters, 30 away from their line. Centre field after the tackle of Barlaw. He gets up and plays it. They go left, and bouncing away from a couple there is Crichton coming back in the middle of the field. Jack Williams is there to do some defending alongside Riley Smith. Crichton finally goes to ground, right short of the halfway line, centre field. Play the ball, Uelu, left-hand side, Radley back on the inside, Watson towards the traffic. It was Jack Williams doing most of the defending there. Final play for the Roosters on halfway. Savala will kick down towards the left wing of Josh Adokar. Has time to take it 12 away from his own line. And he'll just return it back into the middle where Siwa Wong is waiting for him. About 18 away. Gets up and plays it for Papali. One off the ruck is Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown takes the tackle 22 away. Bit of an arm wrestle here now between the Roosters and Parramatta. Foursome backs. Who's going to make the most of the territory? Zach Lomax held up in the tackle 30 away. At the moment, you just about have to say it's slightly advantaged Roosters, but there's not much in it. Isaiah Yongi, 9 short of halfway, plays it for Smith. Left for Barlaw. Now Walker, short ball flat. Hopgood, was it flat? It was. Just flat. Plays the ball 3 inside Roosters territory to Hopgood. Final play. Moses with a towering, spiralling bomb into the dark abyss. Oh, Tedesco's the best fullback in the world. Even he didn't know what to do with it. And it's batted over the dead ball line for a goal line dropout. Well, I tell you what, when you've got James Tedesco chasing his shadows with the ball in the air, you know it's a good kick. Mitchell Moses, take your hat off. Parramatta 14, Roosters 4.
Their former teammates, you can see Mitch Moses on the big screen having a nice little chuckle watching his past teammate. Oh, they've gone back for a Parramatta hand on the ball there, so last laugh to James Tedesco, I guess, but he got beaten all ends up by that spiral bomb.
Yeah, in the contest, I think there was a Parramatta hand of Iongi coming through as they looked to challenge that under the sticks at the northern end. Geez, that was a massive kick. It went so far up, it was lost in the black night sky here at Parramatta. The Roosters have the ball now. It's a good set after the 20-metre restart. Rob Toy will play it on halfway on play 2. They come left. They have the ball through Egan Butcher. He takes the tackle 7 inside Parramatta's territory. Hopgood was trying to affect the one-on-one strip, but Egan Butcher held onto it for his life. Here's Radley straightening through the middle. 13 metres inside the Parramatta half. With the Roosters trailing 14-4, they have the ball in hand through Siwa Wong. He looks for an offload and gets the offload to Lindsay Collins, who almost gets in the way of Uelu and now loses the ball. Picked up by Papali, left for Dylan Brown. They almost had an option down there left through the Fox. Brown takes the tackle 25 away from his line. Adokar scoots out at dummy half. He makes about 10 metres before he goes to ground. 35 away from his line, 5 in from the western touchline. Papali dummy half. Right-hand side he goes for Dylan Brown. 10 short of the halfway line. On play 2 here for the Parramatta Eels. They play it for Smith. Right-hand side bouncing off a couple is Charlie Geimer before taking the tackle on the halfway line. They lead 14-4 Parramatta and they had the ball just over the halfway line. Spinning it from left to right. Ends up with Bensony. Gets away from a couple. Bensony over the 30. 28 away from the Roosters line, 3 in from the eastern touchline. There is a full moon in Parramatta tonight, according to Will Density. As they go to the left, he pulls the trousers up and they continue over here to Papali. Gets it away to Jack Williams and he goes down to almost find a way through before Uelu is there to make the tackle. Moses will come in towards the in-goal, chasing himself. Mitchell Moses gets a hand on it. Brilliant stuff from Mitchell Moses and scores a try under heavy pressure. Oh, there were Roosters players everywhere. The Mitchell Moses rubbers, I think, off the outside of his boot and then reaches out as he goes to ground in the in-goal and plants the ball. Parramatta 18, the Roosters 4 with a kick to come, 28 to go.
Yeah, well, we've spoken about how good Mitch Moses is with his boot tonight, putting in the kicks wherever he wants. Usually it's a crossfield kick. We've seen that bomb previously, but on last play, he sees plenty of space right around the ruck there for the Roosters near the post. He takes it on almost like a front row carry, but he thinks quickly. He puts it on the foot with a bit of a side swipe kick, a bit of a skew-if one off to the right, and then he comes hard off his left foot to get close to the ball, fights through a few defenders and gets the ball down. Great play there from the number 7, the Eels.
Takes him to 49 career tries and 2 in 2 games against the Roosters. Touchline, Kiana Takarangi.
Yeah, the Parramatta fans were going off. There are a few whistles from the crowd as Will Penasini showed the full moon, as you mentioned before. But yeah, really crafty try there by Mitch Moses. Great touch on his grubber and great regather to ground the try.
So Zach Lomax from right in front. He's 1 from 3 tonight. He'd be backing himself here to slam this one over the black dot at the northern end and give Parramatta what would be a 20 points to 4 lead over the finals chasing Roosters. No mistake from Zach Lomax. 0467920 222 is the text line. Keep them coming. Thank you to this text message giving us updates from Newcastle in the Denton Cup. Curry defeating Maitland at 14-12. That is a big game out there. Cessnock defeating Central 20-15 and Wyong beating Macquarie 50-22. Wests beating the Northern Hawks 56-10. Thank you for your text message and thank you for the lovely text messages sending best wishes to Andrew as well on 0467920 222. Hawthorn has beaten Carlton 30-22 in the AFLW. Third quarter in the men's game, West Coast 42 leading Sydney 35, and we're underway in the Women's World Cup with the Wallaroos leading Samoa 7-0 in England. So here is Parramatta with the ball. First up after points through Junior Barlaw, and then on the second play, Jack Williams takes it up over the 20-metre line. He's brought to ground 22 away in centre field. 26 to go here at Parramatta, and it is the home side with a 20 points to 4 lead over the Roosters. Two big games tomorrow again. Don't forget, Timmy Gable will be calling the action alongside Dean Hallertau. No, it's not. It's Matty Elliott actually heading up to Hunter Stadium as Riley Smith kicks from inside 40 on play 4. It'll skip on the turf and just sit up on the 10-metre line for Mark Mwonga Nitawaze to pick it up for the Roosters. Yeah, Tim Gable, Matty Elliott and Bridget Murphy with the call of the Newcastle-Brisbane game because Dean Hallertau will be at Leichhardt. He won't be joining us though because he'll be getting involved with the 20th anniversary celebrations of the West Tigers' victory over the North Queensland Cowboys in that famous 2005 grand final. As Connor Watson goes straight through the middle over the 30, over the 40, over halfway. He's still going, Connor, but they try to bring him down, finally stopping him on the 30-metre line. Oh, Connor Watson just opened up out of absolutely nothing on his own 20-metre line. He might have caught one across the face there. He'll be getting on the blower to us tomorrow and telling us all about that run, but he has got one on the face and he's struggling as he gets up. The Roosters on the attack here now. 20 away from Parramatta's line. That was out of absolutely nothing at their own end. They go left. Victor Radley gets it away to Savala. It goes in front of Watson, who leaves it. Picked up by Billy Smith, racing back there. They lose their ascendancy there slightly, the Roosters. He takes the tackle on the 30. Savala will kick high on the final play. Coming through is Tedesco. Still the final play. He flicks it out the back. It's picked up by the Parramatta Eels and Charlie Geimer, and he will take the tackle. 24 away from his own line. Parramatta 20 leading the Roosters 4, 25 to go.
Yeah, after making that big break, Connor Watson, he had some support, but he couldn't figure out the best way to get it to Billy Smith, who has a little bit more pace. There's just a number of defenders around from Parramatta, which is good scramble from them. But after that, they just got lost for Eels. And again, I go back to not having Sam Walker on the field, directing them around, trying to polish their sets off, make them finish really well. As a result, the Eels get the ball back.
Matt Dory, another strong run from Matt Dory. Good post-contact meters as well. Final plays, 3 meters inside Roosters territory. Smith's at dummy half, so he goes right for Moses. Puts the high kick up in the air. They're flying through, but it's a good take from Junior Tupou under pressure. And he's thrown to the ground by Zach Lomax, 15 away from the Roosters line, as they try to get a quick play of the ball and put the Parramatta defence on the back foot, with the Roosters coming away from their own red zone. Watson finds himself at dummy half with Smith playing the ball. They come right. Savala gets it away to Nwanganiwaze. He has 2 Parramatta players there. Gets a great flick pass out, and they're still going here. Rob Toya gets it off to Savala. Savala takes the tackle, 14 short of halfway, 10 in from the western touchline. Toya back at dummy half. Left-hand side, he goes for Fiketti on the field for the first time for the Roosters, and Celesi Fiketti has the ball 4 short of halfway. They come to the left now. Radley gets it away to Connor Watson. They're 3 inside Parramatta's half, but it's the final play for the Roosters. They trail 20-4. Savala will have to kick from midfield down into that southeastern corner. Iongi goes a long way back. He does really well to pick it up on the full though and returns to the centre of the park. But there's a couple of Roosters, including Nafahu White, leading the charge, and he'll take the tackle 6 away from his line with 23 to go. Parramatta leading the Roosters 20-4. Touchline, Kiana.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to hear because those Parramatta fans are blowing up after that. They were trying to get a penalty for their team. I'm not even sure why. But yes, some really good play there by the Parramatta Eels defensively, I thought.
Who says fans are one-eyed, just wanting a penalty because they haven't had one for a while. Zach Lomax plays it 20 metres away from his line. They go short left-hand side, and they have it 30 away. Getting up and playing it is Williams. He'll go to Smith at dummy half. But Barlow, one off the ruck, looking for support. Doesn't have any, so he takes the tackle. Final play, 12 short of halfway. Egan Butcher was lurking in the ruck, so Smith pushes him away, picks the ball up and gets it away to Moses to boot it deep downfield for Tupou to return it from almost his own goal line towards the 20-metre line, and he takes the tackle 21 away in centre field. We've got just over a quarter to go, 22 minutes left. Parramatta leading the Roosters 20-4 on ABC Sport with Kiana Takarangi, Dean Hallertau. I'm Glenn Lauder. It's good to have your company wherever you are listening on ABC Sport. Local radio around the country, ABC Sport Digital, of course, the ABC Listen app right around the world. Victor Radley takes it to the line, gets it away to Crichton, gets an offload to nobody. Going backwards is Billy Smith, but there was a tackle off the ball. It was Radley hit late after he passed it, and the Roosters will get a penalty 5 short of halfway. They trail 20-4 with 21 to go.
Yeah, look, the Eels are in control and have been for the majority of this game, but there's 20 minutes left, and the Roosters are trying to throw some offloads, they're trying to get some second phase, generate some opportunities. Even though they haven't been quite smooth with their attack, there's still there's chances to get through and score some points. So the Eels don't quite feel as comfortable as maybe the scoreline suggests.
Big Daddy says he's loving the call. Eels to win by 30. Thank you, Big Daddy and Coffs. They've found touch on the left-hand side. About 30 out from the first play. Nafahu White has it through the middle. Now they come to the right. Egan Butcher finds himself 23 away from Parramatta's line. They need to score next here, the Roosters. There's 21 to go. They trail 20-4. Left-hand side, Savala is wrapped up as he tries to get the pass away. Centre field, 19 away from the line. Uala dummy half goes right. Radley, they keep it alive. Ball over the top right-hand side. Oh, Nwanganiwaze was going towards the touchline. Puts a speculative flick pass back on the inside, and it lands right on the chest of Rob Toya, who scores. Nwanganiwaze is an absolute freak. There was a long ball over the top. He picked it up centimetres from the touchline, flick pass out the back, and Rob Toya says, thank you very much, falls over the line, 20 points to 8, kick to come, 20 to go.
Oh, you run out of things to say about this guy. He's a human highlight reel. He's edging towards the sideline. There's 3 Parramatta defenders coming across. It was a peach of a pass, firstly, from James Tedesco to get it across to Nwanganiwaze, but as he goes towards the sideline, he knows he can't get there. He just looks back on the inside, knows that he's got some support there, and Robert Toya throws a one-hand around around the back, almost Benji-esque, but we haven't seen it quite the same way, and comes up with the 4-pointers, lays on the 4-point for his team. Really nice play once again by the human highlight reel.
Sixth try of the season from Rob Toya, but that was all about Nwanganitawase. What about that Kiana touchline?
Yeah, what a try it was by Nwanganitawase. It was Josh Adokar, the Fox, who just got caught shooting up in on the centre, whoever was inside Mark Nwanganitawase. So they've exposed him there, and that was a beautiful flick pass to watch.
Yeah, he is just so exciting to watch. It is great to have him in our game. And Savala with the opportunity to bring it back to 10 points. 20 points to 8 at the moment. 19 minutes to go. Savala absolutely nails this one. Never looked like missing. 20 points to 10. At 10-point margin with 19 to go. They're within 2 converted tries here, the Roosters. 0467920222. Grimes, he says, evening Glenn and team. Daniel Tupou being missed for his work out of his own end and threat in the air. Roosters to play touch footy now. You're not too far off the mark there, Grimesy. Why does Lindsay Collins never make errors like that when he plays for Queensland, says Steve Concord. We're going to a Specsavers special, says Trish at Roosters. Probably Trish at Concord. Thank you, Trish. Half of Parramatta passes are forward, not flat or marginal, says George at Awfulville. I'm sorry you live in Awfulville, George. That doesn't sound a nice place to live. And Steve in Northmead just wants Nwanganitawase to score. Hopefully he does for your sake. Hey Glenn and team, very entertaining game and great call. Mark would have to be the buy of the season. Amazing. Yes, thanks Philly Mudgee. Hope you're well. Thank you for your text message. And they had the ball after points through Lenu, 20 away from his own line. They have the ascendancy here, the Roosters. Have they got the wind at their backs? They lose the ball, it goes backwards, but it's picked up by Parramatta. No, they don't have the wind at their backs because they've lost the ball coming away from their own end. Charlie Guyman picks it up. He plays the ball. They go to the right. Moses gets it back on the inside for Samrani. Jordan Samrani plays it 21 away from the Roosters line. So Parramatta can just about put this to bed. Here's Charlie Guymer, although we've still got 18 minutes to go. Guymer will slowly get up and play it. Talon De Silva's on the field for Parramatta. He goes right out of dummy half. Moses gets it back on the inside for Matt Dory. And Matt Dory's 13 away from the line. 26 points to 10 lead. Would be commanding with 16 or 17 to go. They go to the left-hand side. Dylan Brown is 8 away. Final play for Parramatta. They currently lead by 10. De Silva dummy half right. Moses will kick across field towards the right-hand upright. Oh, it's really well taken in the air like Crichton. And he looks to send Billy Smith away. Smith is tackled, then he gets the pass away. Connor Watson has to go back and collect it. And Connor Watson lands on it, 10 away from his own line. Geez, Billy Smith almost got away there. It's a real scramble at the moment. Big hit coming out of the line. Junior Barlow there, absolutely cleaning up Tupou. He gets up and plays the ball. And now Nwanganitawase is off his wing, coming in for a run. 15 away from his line in centre field. The intensity is ramped up again after that Roosters try. Nafahu White has it, 23 away. Centre field. They go left. Here's Angus Crichton on a run. 14 short of halfway. He'll get up and play the ball. Uelu at dummy half comes right for Savala on the last to kick from inside 40, but it's straight down the ground. Bounces kindly for Josh Adokar. Picks it up 15 away from his line. Advances it around 10 metres before Rob Toya brings him down. Papali, dummy half. One off the ruck for Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown's 33 away from the line. 20 in from the western touchline. We've got 16 and a half to go. Para by 10. In a real arm wrestle at Western Sydney Stadium on Saturday night. Iongi plays it. Talon De Silva. Righty goes for Zach Lomax. Really evenly placed teams despite the disparity on the ladder. Lomax plays it. Scooting out of dummy half is Talon De Silva. Gets over the 40-metre line. He's 39 away. It's the final play in Roosters territory. Guymer finds himself at dummy half. Right-hand side short for Moses, kicking high in the air. Oh, what a catch from Zach Lomax. Going to ground, passes it backwards to Bensony. Bensony back to Lomax. Rubbers through. Charlie Guymer is there. And so too is Jordan Samrani. If this is a try, this is the try of the year. How did Zach Lomax take that catch? Zach Lomax is coming through. almost got there. In the end, it was Jordan Samrani. That is sensational. 24, 10, 15 to go.
Yeah, well, massive play there from the Eels, and in particular, Zach Lomax, as you say, yesterday, gets up and takes the ball cleanly. He dishes it straight out the back there to Benson. He comes up with the offload, who goes to Zach Lomax, gets back off the ground, then puts it on the toe, straight through the legs there of the Roosters. Geimer with the toe, the soccer forward, and then in the desperation from Tedesco to stop it, he hits towards the touchline, and then Semrani gets the ball down. We've been treated to some special tries tonight, some amazing skill and some great last-ditch efforts, and that was all Zach Lomax on that occasion.
That is just absolutely desperation. Never say die, rugby league. Lomax kept going. Geez, I would have loved to see Charlie Geimer, the big man, grub it through and score, but Tedesco thought he kicked it over the dead ball line, but he shaped it over towards the touching goal line, and Jordan Samrani was there. Kiana Takanagi, what about that?
What a try, boys. It is a battle of the right-hand side wingers for both teams. They've both been unreal tonight, but an incredible show of athleticism there by Lomax to set up a try for Samrani. Great try.
Just so exciting to watch. Mitchell Moses from the touchline on the eastern side. 24 points to 10, a 14-point gap with a kick to come. The Roosters are going to have to score a point a minute if they're going to get anything out of this game. Moses moves in, strikes this one, he's got it from the touchline. We had a texter earlier, what about Zach Lomax? Don't worry about Zach Lomax, Mitchell Moses is spotting them from the touchline. 26 points to 10, and you'd have to just about say Parramatta are virtually home. Phil from Port Douglas, yes, Andrew would have been saying that if he was calling that try. Walking the dogs in a field in North Wales, loving the call. Marky Mark is a special talent. Yes, he is. Can't wait to watch the Kangaroos in Liverpool in November. Enjoy that. Thank you for your text message. Appreciate that. 0467920222. The Waller. This is a short kick-off from the Roosters. Oh, no surprise that Nwanganitawazi knocks it back, but then it's knocked on by Feketi. The Roosters can't keep up with Marky Mark. He knocks that one back right near the touchline to keep it in play, and Feketi loses it as he dives on the ball. Parramatta will get the scrum 35 away from their own goal line, and he is a one-man show. Mark Nwanganitawazi under pressure again here from Parramatta, the leap highest to knock it back in field.
Yeah, he was towering above Josh Adokar there, and I think Feketi, if he had his time over again, he went about that the wrong way to try and take it. Halfway in between maybe catching the volley. Instead, it bounces straight through his hands, gets a touch, and the mistake.
So Parramatta win the scrum. They go to the left. Rhymesy has text. He says, do you know where Awfulville is? So without borrowing a line from Dennis Carnahan, he says, that's in Queensland. Thank you very much, Grimesy, for that. And Dennis Carnahan will be in action in grand final week, hopefully this year, as he usually is. We'll find out a little bit more about that over the next few weeks, but over the last few years, he's done some great grand final week stuff. As a penalty goes Parramatta's way, about 40 metres away from the Roosters line. And this is just about all over. A high shot there against the Roosters, and Parramatta kicking for touch through Moses. 10 metres inside Roosters territory over towards that eastern touchline, leading 26 points to 10 with 12 and a half to go here at Western Sydney Stadium. Looks like it's going to be a big win for the Parramatta Eels over a Roosters side who would have watched that Dolphins-Manly game this afternoon and thought, right, the Dolphins didn't get the job done. This is a big opportunity for us to open up a bit of a gap on those chasing teams, and they haven't been able to do so. It looks as though Roosters defending their own line here after Parramatta found touch on the eastern side. Papali has it back on the inside for Williams. Williams is 19 away centre field, getting up and playing it for Talon De Silva. Right-hand side he goes Geimer, Moses, short ball. Samrani looking for a double, but he's 9 away from the line, takes a tackle. De Silva out of dummy half. Geimer now one off the ruck towards the post. He's 3 metres away at the northern end of Western Sydney Stadium. De Silva goes left. Moses, short ball. Williams 3 away from the line. Final play. 20 in from the western touchline. De Silva comes open side right. Dummies goes to Moses. Kicks back towards a familiar position there. Batted backwards. Still the final play. Picked up by De Silva. He gets away from Crichton. Back left he goes for Moses. Who'll kick towards the post. It's a grubbing kick this time. But it's Mark Nwaganitawaze. You're not going to get past him. He picks the ball up for the Roosters and takes the tackle 4 metres away from the line, centre field, with Parramatta leading 26-10 and 11 to go as Rob Toya makes a decent run up towards the 20.
It was a tough take off the ground too. A ball along the ground. Damp conditions there for Nwaganitawaze, but he scoops it up well and takes the pressure off his team for a little bit. But as the clock ticks down towards 10 minutes, the Roosters, they've got a lot to do, and there's a lot of tired bodies out there.
Yeah, there is. Victor Bradley just loses the ball there. A loose carry and a decent shot from Barlaw, but Bradley should have been holding on to that one. And Harley takes the tackle for Parramatta, 33 away from the line. They look shot here, the Roosters. Matt Dory's 22 away from the Sydney Roosters line. Just under 11 to go. Guymer comes left for Parley, gets it away. Short ball from Dylan Brown to Williams, and Williams is 12 away from the line. 15 in from the western touchline. Parramatta leading by 16. Barlaw, dummies, goes himself. Takes the tackle 8 metres away. Held up in the tackle, centre field. Plays the ball for Talon De Silva. Right hand side for Moses. Short ball now, trying to find a way through close to the line, but unable to, and getting up to play it 3 metres away from the line is Matt Dory. They come to the left-hand side. Barlaw's pass goes to ground. Picked up, though, by Papali, who kicks towards the end goal. It's the Nwaganitawaze there again, but this time he can't get past Josh Adokar. And the Fox puts Mark Nwaganitawaze in the end goal. Goal line dropout Roosters. 10 minutes to go. Parramatta lead 26-10.
Yeah, you spoke before the game, SA, about the combinations that the Eels are trying to develop here with Papali and Mitch Moses. And the more that Papali's able to do things like this, put those little kicks in behind the line and develop his own confidence in his kicking game, the better it will be for them long term.
Short-ish goal line dropout. 25 it goes, and geez, Jack Williams has just plowed into, it was Talon De Silva, just plowed into just Papali there as he tried to take the catch, loses the ball. The Roosters pick it up, ends up with Radley, left-hand side Watson, now Crichton bounces away from a couple of Para players, and now they lose the ball here. The Roosters trying to force their hand, and it is real frustration there for young Hugo Savala as he just tried to do too much with it there. The Roosters, they have to throw it around, they know they do, but they lose the ball on play one, and Parramatta will get a scrum feed. 9 metres inside Roosters territory with under 9 to go, leading by 16. Let's get down to the touchline with Kiana Takarangi.
Yeah, Parramatta had made a meal of that dropout, and the Roosters are very unlucky there to turn the ball straight back over. Para in good position to attack again.
Graham from Taree, loving the coverage. Thank you, Graham. Yeah, Parramatta going to be a big threat in the next year or two. Thank you for your text message as well. They won the scrum feed, and they had the ball through Dylan Brown, 10 inside Roosters territory. They go to the right, and Jack Williams is met in a really strong tackle. Plenty of afters on the ground as well from Fiketti. Gets away with it. There's no 6 again. They go to the right now, and here's Charlie Guymer, 29 away centre field. Will play the ball for De Silva. Continues to the right. Moses to the line, then gets it away to Iongi, and Iongi is tackled 19 short of the Roosters goal line. With 8 minutes to go and a 16-point lead. They come back left. Dory's at first receiver. Dummies goes himself, and Matt Dory's 11 away. Final play for Parramatta. They come left. Moses is waiting for it. Doesn't kick. Goes himself. Changes direction from left to right. Long ball to Sam Rani. Oh, then trying to kick is Bensony, but it's picked up right in the breadbasket by Billy Smith. He can't go all the way. He's over halfway, but he's out of gas. And he takes the tackle 12 metres inside Parramatta's half. Quick play the ball. Tupou at dummy half. He goes to the 30-metre line. Parramatta still trying to get back. Watson's at dummy half now. They come right. Radley, Savala gets it away to Tedesco. Dummies goes himself on this right-hand side. Tedesco's 26 away from Parramatta's line. 15 in from the western touchline. Plays it for Toya. Left-hand side they go. Spin it through the hands. Radley changes direction back to the right. A bit rudderless there, and they have the ball through Egan Butcher, 22 away from the line. 7 to go. The Roosters down by 16. They go left. Nafahu White. Radley. Now, Nwaganitawaze over on the left-hand side. Billy Smith tries to get the pass away to Tupou, but it's forward. He was was under pressure there, Billy Smith, and he tried to get the last pass to Tupou, but it went forward, and Parramatta get a scrum feed, 10 away from their own line with less than 7 to go. Parramatta 26, the Roosters 10, but they look dangerous left again, and Wanganita-Waze was involved as well.
Yeah, he's trying to inject himself, isn't he, in these late stages where they're chasing the points. And you mentioned Rudderless, they made a really big break, and off the back of it, they weren't quite sure once again. We've seen one earlier from Connor Watson where they get all the way downfield off a line break and they're not sure where to go next, and they'd created a bit of space there. If Billy Smith can pull his run up a little bit, throw the quick hands to Tupou, there's maybe a 4-pointer in it.
So they have the scrum, they win it, they go left, Parramatta. And then from the second play, Jack Williams has it 25 away from his own line in centre field. They are on track, the Parramatta Eels, the victory over the Roosters. Coming away from their own end, it will only be their 8th win of the campaign. And they are 8 short of the halfway line in centre field. Just under 6 minutes to go through Lomax. They come left, Walker, short ball for Hopgood. And Hopgood is 4 metres inside the Roosters' half on the final play for Parramatta. So Moses goes to the skies in centre field. Tupou waiting for it on his left wing. Takes that one comfortably. Maybe an escort play. The referee is happy to continue because Tupou can't get too much of an advantage there before the tackle of Samrani. He plays the ball for Watson. They come back towards centre field, about 20 in from the eastern touchline, getting up and playing to Smith. They will continue to the right. Radley's at first receiver. He thought about passing and then he goes forward and he takes the tackle 25 away from his own line. Does Victor Radley, ahead of an Ashes series at the end of the season against Australia. They continue to the right. Tedesco gets it away to Wanganita-Waze. He takes the tackle 11 short of halfway. Dylan Brown coming over the top. 5 in from the western touchline. They come back to the left-hand side. Through the hands of Butcher, and then it over there. Angus Crichton tries to force the pass away, and Crichton loses the ball. So once again, they're just trying quick hands over on the far side, the Roosters, and too quick for the edge back rower, Angus Crichton, as we go touchline, Kiana.
Yeah, I'm feeling for the Roosters boys a little bit. It's a little bit hard to watch with all these errors creeping into their game now. But the Parramatta fans here are very happy, and there's a total of 19,741. Maybe not all Parramatta fans, but a large number of them here tonight.
Well, a large number of them will be very happy. Thanks, Kiana. There's 4 minutes to go and they lead by 16. And they win the scrum feed as well. They go to the right. They had the ball through Bensoni. 33 away and 15 in from the eastern touchline. As he slowly gets up and plays it for Talon De Silva. Coming back left, Samrani goes on a straightening run from first receiver. 28 away from the line. Play the ball, they'll come left. Dylan Walker. Game number 250 will be a successful one for him. Left-hand side they go for Iongi. He takes the tackle. He's only 15 away. They come back right now. Barlow's at first receiver. Walker gets it away to Moses. Kicking towards the in-goal. Lomax coming forward. It's taken by Tupou, but in the in-goal, and Lomax tries to hang on to him. He flicks the pass back into the middle. There's Tupou. And they've come up with another try here. Parramatta through Mitchell Moses. Well, Tupou was trying to get past Zach Lomax on the Roosters' left-hand side. He throws it back into the middle, and I don't think it was Moses. I think Samrani got there first. Jordan Samrani scores a double. 30 points to 10 with 3 minutes to go and a kick to come.
Yeah, he's a scrap specialist, they say, Jordan Samrani. He's got a couple now where the ball has gone in the in goal, gets a little bit messy. He continues to chase through. And there's little that James Tedesco can do. He gets the attempted one-arm flick from Tupou. He doesn't want to have to defend another set, but he puts his team in a worse position with that flick pass. And yeah, well done to Jordan Samrani. He stayed alive on every play, and he's rewarded with 2 tries through those scrappy balls along the ground.
I just saw the 7, but it was the 17 that was getting up and celebrating. Jordan Samrani, 2 tries this afternoon, and it is a real celebration for the Parramatta Eels. His 3rd and 4th tries of the season. Touchline, Kiana.
Yeah, Junior Tupou there, just taking some inspiration from Mark Wanganita-Waze maybe with the flick pass. Didn't pull off that time though, and a great try from Jordan.
It's Rugby League 101, isn't it? Don't pass in your in goal. But I suppose when you're chasing the game in those circumstances, you take more risks than you possibly would. Not coming off for the Roosters there. And Mitchell Moses with the opportunity to add the extras from about 19 in from the eastern touchline. He's taking all the time in the world, isn't he? 2.5 minutes to go. He'll be in front of the mirror in the change rooms in a few minutes. He'll be able to make sure there's not one out of place, and he misses that one. He got one from the touchline. It was much more difficult, and he shanks that one. So he's unable to add the extras there, Mitchell Moses. And it doesn't really matter, though, because the Parramatta Eels are on their way to a commanding victory over the Roosters. They lead 30 points to 10. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here at Western Sydney Stadium, and the Parramatta Eels will also be the recipients of the Jack Gibson Trophy as well, the Jack Gibson Cup, and after, of course, the famous former Rooster and coach of both teams, as the kick goes 10 metres across the plane, and no surprise, it's Nawangani-Dawazi again, gets it away for Wong, and Siwa Wong has the ball for the Roosters, 24 away from Parramatta's line. He plays it for Connor Watson, left-hand side for Nafahu White, and Nafahu White takes the tackle after some good post-contact metres, about 13 away from Parramatta's line. They'll have just about a last throw at the dice here, the Roosters. They go left. Victor Radley gets it away to Tedesco, and then Billy Smith, and Billy Smith is 2 away from the line. He'll get up and play the ball. They'll come back open side right, close to that touchline on the eastern side. Here they are back on the inside for Egan Butcher, straightening through the middle of the field. 14 away, trailing 30 points to 10, the Roosters. They were chasing 4 wins in a row tonight. It won't be coming here. Tedesco has the ball on the right edge. He looks for a way through, doesn't have a way through, so he takes the tackle. 12 away. Final play for the Roosters here. Could this be the final time with the ball in hand tonight? Connor Watson scoots out a dummy half, gets it away to Siwa Wong, knocks the ball on, just about summing up their night, and the Parramatta Eels are happy to take the tackle in the goal. There is no advantage, so they get the handover on the 10-metre line with a 30 points to 10 lead. A minute to go, Dino.
Yeah, it looks like Connor Watson's in that dummy half position. Uelu getting the rest, so then we see in that set James Tedesco trying to fill that sort of link man role. He's moving all over the park, and so their systems and their structures are thrown out by the fact that they're scrambling with the ball in hand, and we've seen it for them for the whole game. And I know I've mentioned it a few times, but that is a really hard position to fill halfback when you rely so much and you've got an inexperienced 6 outside that.
Yeah, it's been probably the moment of the night, really. Sam Walker, in the context of the result, losing Sam Walker so early on to that HIA after being steamrolled by Kelman Tuolangi. So Parramatta just one off the ruck stuff at the moment, going straight through the middle. There's 15 seconds to go. It's play 4. They will play the ball and continue on and celebrate victory. Just their 8th of the campaign. Talon De Silva takes the tackle on the 30-metre line. He's going to have to get up and play this ball. He doesn't really want to get up and play it. He won't have to. Wyatt Raymond brings close to proceedings. And the Parramatta Eels, who have gone loss, win, loss, win, loss in their past 5 now, add another win to that. So they continue that flip-flopping all the way through the final stages of the 2025 campaign. It's been a really good performance by the Eels tonight. Unfortunately for the Roosters, losing Sam Walker early, but Parramatta won't mind that because they have definitely avoided the wooden spoon if there was any doubt before this game. They win 30 points to 10 over the Roosters, who have had a 3-game winning streak broken down.
Yeah, and the thing with the Eels' performance tonight is it was a very consistent performance from start to finish. They completed really well. They didn't go too far away from their process, and I mentioned midway through that second half, they had a decent lead, but the Roosters were still throwing it around and have the ability to maybe jag some points here and there, but Parramatta just stuck with the process. Mitch Moses guided them around the park really well with his kicking game, and they played tough in front of a home crowd, and those combinations are starting to develop really nicely, and to put on 30 points is really pleasing. And we were treated to some great tries on both sides. the Roosters themselves come up with some good tries, but the Eels, some really good team tries, some good desperation tries, staying in the play, staying in the moment, and that's a good sign of where they're at as a group and the sort of standard that they set themselves.
So Kiana's making her way out onto the field to get some reaction, and both teams will stay out on the field as well, because there will be the presentation of the Jack Gibson Cup and the Chad Robinson Medal as well. So nice touch from both of these clubs, the Parramatta Eels and the Roosters. And I know there was an education fund set up for Chad's kids following his passing back in 2016. And Lifeline, if you need it, 13 11 14, as Kiana is making her way around there, and I think she might have the milestone man.
Congratulations. Yes, I'm joined by Dylan Walker. Congratulations, massive win. How good did that one feel?
Yeah, it was awesome. I thought it was a whole team performance. It's always good playing against the Chooks, and we scored a few points tonight, so I think everyone's happy.
Special one for you, 250. How was that?
Been bashed out of 250 games. I thought I broke my nose, and I was kind of off it, to be honest, if that was the case, but luckily not.
It was good to see you come back on, and straight after that, you actually had a nice little try assist over there to Fox. What was going through your head at that time?
I don't know. I just saw the space, kick it. Fox would be there, fast boy. So, honestly, I can't even remember too much of that.
Are you sure you passed your test?
Yeah, passed it.
You guys head over to back to New Zealand next week to play the Warriors. How confident are you that you can keep up this good form we've seen tonight?
Yeah, I think going over there, it's always a good trip. It's going to be hard. Those boys, they're playing for a top 4 spot, so we're going to go over there with the same mentality as we had tonight, and it's going to be awesome coming back.
Rest up, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Tiana.
Yeah, thanks, Tiana. Kiana, thanks, Dylan Walker. Obviously, 250 games back into the lock forward position tonight as well after that injury to Luca Moretti, and did a good job after coming on after passing that HIA Dino. It was a pretty nasty head knock with Lindsay Collins, but he worked hard for his team all night. As Kiana, just to your left, maybe Mark Nwonga-Nitawaze is standing right there, I think, and he might be worth having a chat to, because he is an absolute superstar. If we can get him, Dino, he's just so exciting to watch.
Yeah, I love watching him play and turn out those performances where there's always a highlight. I call him the human highlight reel, but he's always got something that he can pull out of his bag, and he executes it so well. Like flick passes, kicks, whatever it is, overhead catches. He just has a great ability to be aware of what's going on.
He's with Kiana.
Yeah, I'm joined by Mark Nwonga-Nitawaze. Obviously, disappointing result for you guys, but how did it feel out there?
Yeah, obviously, credit to Para. They came out strong, and they were just, they powered over us and completed. So I guess, we have to fix what we learnt tonight, and make sure we got a big game next week. Hopefully we can get the win.
Now, you guys lost Sam Walker early in the game. How much of an impact did that have on your guys' result?
Yeah, obviously Sammy leads a lot of our attack, and he brings a lot of energy to the team. But we back the boys that can fill in there. Connor, he did his job. But I guess that's just the way the game goes sometimes.
Now, you had a really nice try assist down here, little flick pass to set up Robert Toya. Talk us through that one.
Look, I was going for the corner, but obviously they had a lot of cover, so I just thought, throw it into Bobby, who had an easier run in for the try.
I think you guys have a good chance of making the finals. I think if you've got the win tonight, you're pretty much set. But how confident are you that you can finish off the season strong and head into the finals?
Yeah, every week's going to be a tough week, so we've got to make sure we win the next two, because anything can happen. So look, we can go again next week, fix what we made errors, a lot of errors tonight. If we can fix that and turn it around.
All the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kiana. Thanks, Mark Nwonga-Nitawaze. Not easy going to Melbourne next week. Let's have a look at our ABC Player of the Year points, Dino, and then we might be able to get a chat with our man of the match.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3 points to Mitch Moses. I thought just his control, kicking game, his energy. He got a try assist, a try. He was everywhere, and it was a great knock from him up in front, leading the way. 2 points. I'm going to go Riley Smith. He played a big stint. in. His service was really strong, and he was the one that was providing the platform with his service. As he got tired, it dropped off a little bit, but I thought he was ultra consistent, very good defensively as well throughout the night. And then for my 1 point, I'm going to go to Jermaine Hopgood. I thought just the tidiness around the ruck, lots of defensive work, so game built on defensive work from him. He's been known to be a bit of an offloader, provides opportunities. He didn't do that so much tonight, but just really shored things up around the middle of the ruck.
Yeah, Riley Smith, 37 tackles, no surprise for the hooker, and Jermaine Hopgood making 34 along with 79 metres as well. So hopefully we can get Mitchell Moses at some point. However, they are doing, of course, the presentation for the Jack Gibson Cup as well as the Chad Robinson medal. I can't actually see. I think they're all sort of in a bit of a huddle there, and he's having a bit of a celebration with Kiana. Does Junior Barlow want to have a chat with you, or we'll
trying to get Mitch back.
We'll try to get Mitchell Moses. I'm sure if anyone can muscle through the Parramatta scrum there, Kiana, it's you, of course, part of this Parramatta squad. But yeah, Mitchell Moses, once again, outstanding for his side. And we do talk about that combination with Joash Papali as well. Here he is now, the player of the match.
What a win. How good does that one feel to get over the Roosters, strong Roosters side?
Yeah, we wanted to come out and prove a point. We were a bit upset with how we played last week against South. Thought we were pretty good for the majority of the game, but didn't complete well, and we want to come and complete well tonight, and thought we did that.
Definitely. What was the game plan for you guys coming up against them? You know, they've had some really good form over the last few weeks.
They're a big side, and we're not so big, so we didn't want to go bash and barge to the middle. We want to move the ball a little bit and play back through them with our leg speed forwards, and thought we did that really well, and wanted to make them come out of the corners all game when we did that.
Someone with a bit of leg speed as well. The Fox, how good was it to see him open up?
I've been stinging for that all year, for him just to pluck one out and run 100. So he was outstanding, and I thought he was one of our best.
And how good is it to come out, in front of a home crowd who's still backing you guys, even though it's been a bit of a tough season? How good is it to get a win for them?
Yeah, it's a great turnout, and the boys have been trying all year, and the fans keep turning up. We haven't been getting the results very often, but the fans keep turning up, and they were massive tonight.
Well, rest up, enjoy the win, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Easy, thank you.
Thanks, Mitch Moses. Thank you, Kiana. Well done. You can make your way back up into the warmth, although it's not too bad down there tonight at pitch level. Quite a nice late winter day here in Sydney. Yeah, only their second win over a top 8 side. The Roosters are bang on the edge of the top 8. They are a top 8 side, but only their second win against a top 8 side all season, which is before tonight had been their worst record, the worst record out of any team in the competition. But they worked really hard tonight, and Mitchell Moses was in the thick of that, Dino. Yeah,
they completed really highly, and a little bit of insight from him there around wanting to move the ball, not try and take them on through the middle of the field. And he's right, Nafahu White, who's established himself as a really solid front rower, starting things up alongside Lindsay Collins. That's a pretty awesome starting pack. Spencer Leniu as well. Like, they have a power game, the Roosters, and they don't relent either. So they wanted to move them around a little bit, play some expansive football, which is always tricky when it's a bit damp. And if you start to play expansive and make mistakes and you stay in that type of game plan, you can quickly get into quicksand, concede, and the other team will get on top. But they executed really well, like I said, and they just knew what they wanted to do, and they stuck with it. And I'll reiterate, I thought his kicking game was outstanding, and a big reason why they won.
And I think Mark Nwanganitawaze spoke about it as well, trying to avoid the errors that they made tonight. They made 21 errors and only completed at 57%, 20 of 35 sets, which Trent Robinson will not be happy about ahead of that trip to Melbourne. We are on air until 10 p.m, another 15 minutes or so, so keep those text messages coming through on 0467920222. Sam Walker's injury illustrates why it's so important to have a versatile 14. Roosters would have been better served to have Sandon Smith on the bench tonight, says Nick. I think it's being a little unfair on Connor Watson.
Yeah, Connor Watson's a super 14. Yeah. Right? Like, he is a guy that can cover a lot of positions. Yeah, he's played mostly hooker, in recent times, but he's capable of filling and doing a role. It just means that the hard thing is usually when one of your starting halves goes down, and I know Sandon has experience as a starting half, but the other half will step up and take control. Hugo Savala's a rookie. He's had a great season, but it's always going to be hard for him to take on that leadership.
And I guess also maybe the comment is possibly a little more directed at Benai Uelu as well, who's another rookie who did really well, but hasn't had experience of big minutes and running a side out of dummy half for 80 minutes as well.
Yeah, I think you mentioned his longest stint that he's played this year was 51, 50 odd minutes. So it was always going to be a tough ask, and that sort of interrupts the rest of your rotation as well. You ask him more of your starting middles, and the fatigue comes in later, and it's harder to chase points, as we've seen. So they'll lick their wounds, the Roosters, and look towards next week and what that might look like.
Phil in Mudgee says he wants to mention the ref had a very good game tonight. I agree. Wyatt Raymond was very good, and Adam G was involved. I think the video referee was involved more than the referee was. It was plenty of bunker decisions. Hey Glenn, Dino, Jason and the Argonauts just showed how you dismantle another pretender, says Tubbo Dragon. Thank you. Parramatta Rachel can't wait for 26-27, but Trish in Concord is not clucking and not happy. Thank you, Trish. Apologies for your evening. I'm sorry that we ruined it for you. Round 26, Melbourne Roosters, Dolphins, Titans. Then round 27, Roosters, South, Dolphins, Canberra. 8th position could come down to the second last game of regular footy season and for and against. How good is the NRL? Great call as always, says Grimesy. Yes, absolutely. Really, really exciting stuff. And it's been such an open competition. I know earlier in the season we were saying how tight it was between about 5th and 15th, and it's been pretty much that way all the way through. 6 tries to 2. Well played Parramatta, who won the Chad Robinson medal. They're just about to hand that out. This text message here, no, not Chad Townsend, Chad Robinson, who played for both clubs, 89 games for Parramatta and 70 for the Roosters. Sadly, lost his life in 2016, but they are going down there for the Jack Gibson Cup presentation now, and in fact Chad Robinson's children are going to be announcing the winner of the Chad Robinson medal right now, so I will be able to let you know that Mitchell Moses was the Chad Robinson medalist. So the panel who was judging that, obviously we're listening to Dean Hallertau's 3-2-1s as well. Congratulations to Mitchell Moses and Chad Robinson's kids presenting that medal. 19,741 watched this one tonight, where it finished the Roosters getting beaten by Parramatta 30 points to 10 around the grounds in the AFL. West Coast trailing Sydney 80-43 after the Eagles made a really fast start. And in the Women's Rugby World Cup, the Wallaroos are leading Samoa 45-0 in the first half. There were 2 other games this afternoon at Brookvale. Manly had a big win over the Dolphins, 58 points to 30. There for us, Michael Carianis, Luke Lewis and Brett Sprigg.
Well, Glenn, the Sea Eagles came to celebrate their captain, Nelly Cherry Evans, and they did celebrate with 10 tries to 5. It was a seesawing first 15 minutes or so in the game, but from the point that Luke Brooks scored and then Opawati scored midway through that first half, they didn't look back and just shut the gate. 22-12 at half-time, 58-30, the full-time scoreline. 10 tries to 5 in the end, Luke Lewis. What was the most concerning thing? Firstly, for the Dolphins, who just showed hapless defence and were nowhere for large parts of the game.
Yeah, for me, the Dolphins just look like they've given up on the season, and injuries obviously play a massive role in that. But they come out today, they started well, and then it sort of went tit for tat. But again, their attitude to defence just wasn't there. And then all of a sudden, Manly got a little bit of a roll on. They couldn't stop it, and then it was all over for them. Manly just making so many easy meters and looking really, really dangerous on the edges with Tom Trbojevic back at fullback, especially over to that left side, and way too many errors, especially in the second half. They just give Manly leg up after leg up, and they just made them pay. And that's why the scoreline was what it was. 15 tries in the game. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it was a nice day as well. Bright sunshine, dry track, and ideal conditions for it. We saw 2 tries each to Tom Trbojevic, Luke Brooks, and Lehigh Hopawati, and also filling in the gaps, Matt Lodge, Ethan Bullymore, Ben Trbojevic, and Tola Taukola also crossed. You were very impressed with his game game, Tolotau Kola. 5 tries for the Dolphins. We saw Lemuelu score a double. Finafuyaki, Marshall, King and Kafusi also on the board here. But Michael Karayanis, it was just, I won't say clinical, because it was just, a fun game of footy in some ways for the Seagulls at a certain point. There was little defence and contact from both sides.
Yeah, it was a bizarre game because usually when you see such a scoreline, you think it's entertaining, you think end-to-end action, you think of plenty of highlight plays. That just didn't happen. It was a game that sort of, was fine. Both sides didn't want to tackle, both sides didn't like the contact, none brought their physicality. And then if you get into a game of touch footy with Manly, they're going to sting you because they've got that attacking prowess out throughout the field. And, I thought, as Lewis said, young Kola, who's just, played a little bit of both sides of the ball, the big task for Manly is going to be in the off-season how they can get Tom Trbojevic, Lehigh Hopewadi and Kola all on the ball at times because they're all so dangerous.
Yeah, so this win now for the Seagulls, obviously it was all part of the occasion, wasn't it, Michael? And you spoke to Daly Cherry-Evans after the game and what this meant to him. His third last game in the maroon and white of Manly, and it was a nice reception for him for the most part.
Yeah, it was a great reception.
Yeah.
The fans stuck around to celebrate him afterwards. Plenty of people with DCE signs and the like, and 350 games for the one club, started at halfback for all of them. Deserves those accolades. But he was emotional when I spoke to him after the game on the field, and he's holding out a glimmer of hope that that last time he plays at Brookie might be for something. Whether it's a final spot, look, I don't think so, but he's holding out some hope.
Well, their for and against gets a boost at least with this result here today. But yeah, they're on level points now with the Dolphins, which tells me that neither side are really a chance of making it, and that's advantageous, I suppose, for the Roosters. And a few of those, well, it's just the Roosters really in that sort of race for that final spot in the top 8. But the Seagulls may just believe, Louis, they are away next to St George Illawarra at Cogra. That's this Saturday 5:30 game next week. Then they've got the Warriors here at home at Brookvale. The Dolphins will face Gold Coast at Lang Park. That's the Sunday 4 o'clock game. Then they'll host Canberra at Dolphin Oval in round 27. You gave your 3 points to Tolotau Kola, 2 to the man of the moment, Daly Cherry-Evans, and 1 to Ethan Willimore in the ABC Player of the Year. But here, Glenn, it was just a try-scoring rout, 58-30, and some consolation tries there in the end for the Dolphins, who at one stage were down 58-18. So the last 2 tries of the game, but it was all here for DCE. His pre-written 50th game, and the 10th win for Manly this year. They win 58-30.
Thank you, Spriggy. The other game this afternoon saw the Warriors defeating the Gold Coast Titans 32 points to 18. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck getting the 3 points from Billy Moore. Chanel Harris-Davida with 2 points and Erin Clark with the 1 point. 32-18 over the Titans, Dino. Obviously, the Warriors are looking for a top 4 finish. The wheels have fallen off a little bit the last few weeks. On paper, you will say, well, it was only the Titans. But sometimes you need a big result close to the finals just to kickstart things again.
Yeah, their life, there's a bit of a lifeline there for the Warriors. At home against the Dragons. The Dragons lost 3 guys to HIAs in the first half, so they had to scrap really hard to get a win against a team that was severely depleted. So you were kind of questioning if they had the ability to go on and start racking up some wins. They did that against the Titans, like you said, albeit the Titans. But I'm still not convinced by them, even though they did win comfortably. We'll see what happens next week, because I think against the Eels, who just put up a good performance against the Roosters, they're going to get really tested.
Yeah, they certainly need a home final, that's for sure, if they want to go too far. Kiana's back up here. Kiana, final thoughts on what you saw out there tonight? It was a bit of a bizarre game.
It was a strange one, but I was really impressed by the Eels. It was good to see them play some good footy here at home, but the Roosters, I felt for them a little bit. I think that Sam Walker, going off early just changed their whole game. You could see there was a lot of disconnect in their attack and a lot of errors as a result. So hopefully they can fix that up if he's back next week. Following.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So he'll have the 11-day stand down money for that Cat 1. Let's have a look at what's happening around the grounds in the AFL. Sydney 80 leading West Coast 51, and it's half-time time at the Women's Rugby World Cup with the Wallaroos smashing Samoa 45-0. Earlier in the NRL games this afternoon, as we just heard, their wins for Manly over the Dolphins 58-30 and the Warriors 32 points to 18 over the Titans. In the New South Wales Cup, there were wins for the Warriors, the Bulldogs, the Dragons and the Raiders. NRLW, Canberra defeated the Bulldogs 56-24 and the Titans defeated the Dragons 22-4. Parramatta got beaten by the Roosters 56-12 here at Western Sydney Stadium. Jersey Flag wins for the Sharks, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Storm, the Roosters and the Bulldogs. Queensland Cup, there were wins for the East Tigers, the Manly Seagulls, the Bears and the Falcons. Dean Hallertau, have a great day tomorrow, celebrating 20 years since that famous premiership.
I'll give you a wave, mate.
Benji's flick. Kiana, once again, always a pleasure. Well done. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis Carnahan. Thank you, Ned Hall on the buttons. We'll be back tomorrow from midday. Myself, John Gibbs and Luke Lewis from Leichhardt. The 4 o'clock game is the Tigers and the Cowboys. We'll also hear from Tim Gable, Matt Elliott and Bridget Murphy for the 2 o'clock game from Newcastle. The Knights up against the Broncos. But thanks to you for listening. It's good night.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
7 out from that northern line. Played by Kafusi. Marshall King. A flat ball now Donahue. And now Katoa through the gap. He got there far too easily. Finathuiaki and scores to the right-hand side of the post. Dangerous situation this for the Seagulls. Francis Molo charging through and he's forced back there by Simpkin in concert with Takiyaho. Marshall King goes from dummy half with a dummy and he slides into the post to score. Dummy half is Navale. To the left-hand side to Brooks. Tom Trbojevic as well to Lehigh Hopewadi. Shows sheer pace. Bounced off the defence and plants the footy as well. Spun back here left-hand side. Brooks to Tom Trbojevic. Another cut-out ball. Easily finds Lehigh Hopewadi who scores in behind the posts. Kohler, beat one. Dashes back on the inside. Offload flick pass back to Ben Trbojevic. And now in the middle there, Takiyaho to Cherry Evans. On to Luke Brooks, who goes under the post and scores his second try of the game. 15:40 left in his second half on ABC Sport. The shadows grow longer across Brookvale Oval. Moving along, there's a pass from Simpkin to Brooks, and now Cherry Evans. Tom Trbojevic on the dash to the corner, and Tom Trbojevic is in. Back to Takiyaho. Brooks on to Tom Trbojevic. Wide to Lehigh Hopewadi on this last play. Well done with the pass. Back on the into the turbo Tom, and he slides it and scores the try. That was just magnificent.
The 2025 NRL